The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Does Joe Burrow want out of Cincinnati? And would the Jets have any chance of actually acquiring him in a trade? We'll talk about that and much more. Dylan Tereman joins us. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Guys, we always say this, and it's always going to be pretty. I got one game ball.
Let's keep it going next week.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go. Here on a Thursday, we're presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Tonight, Thursday night football. Todd Bowles and the Bucks against the Atlanta Falcons. If you're betting on the game, do it with FanDuel. We will give you a pick that we like for this game coming up in just a bit. But right now, we say hello to our guy, Dylan Tereman, who joins us in his weekly Thursday spot. DT, it sure sounds like the Brady Cook era will fully be underway Sunday in Jacksonville because today Tyrod and Fields did not practice once again. So it feels like it's going to be Brady Cook time in Jacksonville Sunday. How we feeling?
Oh man, we're feeling really good. We're feeling real cooked up about Brady Cook right now, honestly. No, I mean, in all reality, I've said it a couple times now. I think we've seen the end of the Fields experiment in New York. That's why they went out and signed Adrian Martinez to the practice squad, Tyrod Taylor with the groin. I mean, he lasted 3 drives. And some people are saying he tore his groin on the first play of the game. And it's like, come on, man. Like, if it's that serious, like, it's going to be Brady Cook more likely than not. And it's not going to look pretty for the last 4 games. And truthfully, the evaluation period, although it should have been underway the last, 14 games of the season, it's got to start. And Brady Cook isn't the best barometer of what your offense can look like, but hopefully he can at least just throw the ball downfield, give his guys a chance. And if they catch it, maybe they find that box called the end zone.
What a novel concept that is. We will see. Jets, by the way, 12.5-point underdogs in this one on Sunday. So not expecting much, but hey, they play the game and we'll see what happens with Brady Cook likely starting. Breece Hall, for what it's worth, limited today, but he went from not practicing to limited. So that is a positive sign towards him playing Sunday. I mean, really, their only chance in this game is like just a monster Breece game. Maybe the defense finally does come up with some takeaways because, again, when you're a 12.5-point underdog, it's very tough to win unless you just dominate the turnover battle or you have like a historic performance from one of your players.
Yeah, and with Brady Cook in line to start or seemingly in line to start, ESPN Bet has them at 13.5. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe FanDuel catches up by the time game day happens. Maybe they even get to 14.5, a 2-touchdown plus spread. And I mean, it's deserved at this point, right? The Jets are bottom 5 in a ton of metrics on offense, except for running the ball. And like you said, with Breece Hall, they're missing on Wednesday, limited today. If he doesn't play, it's like, 1, are you competitively tanking? But 2, I mean, are you going to score any offensive touchdowns? Is it going to be one of those type of droughts for the last 4 games? Like we've seen with the Zach Wilson era where they just went months without scoring an offensive touchdown. I can't break down a game if there's no offensive touchdown. It's just going to be miserable. So we got to hope that Breece plays and gives them at least a shot in the arm chance, a puncher's chance, as our guy Kyle Clifton likes to say. And maybe just keep it close. Not, don't get dog walked, 3 instant touchdowns on defense and then you have 4 and outs, 3 and outs, 5 and outs to start on offense. Like, just don't do that and don't get out coached throughout the last 4.
Let's talk about why, most people are here for, right? You see the thumbnail, you see the title, you go on social media today, everyone's talking about Joe Burrow. Well, why don't we start with why Burrow is once again a topic of conversation. He had a press conference yesterday, his weekly media availability with the reporters in Cincinnati, And here's a little sample of the DT, a very melancholy, down in the dumps Joe Burrow, fueling speculation that he could pull an Andrew Luck and retire, or he could actually ask out of Cincinnati. Here's Burrow from yesterday.
The way that you view the game.
No, it certainly doesn't change my desire to win. If I want to keep doing this, I have to have fun doing it. I've been through a lot, and if it's not fun, then what am I doing it for? So that's the mindset I'm trying to bring to the table.
How much fun are you having right now? Is it difficult to have fun given the season, what you've been through physically, emotionally, all of it? Is it tough?
Yeah, certainly.
Did you have fun playing before how much of it was fun before? Winning's always fun, but in general, was it as fun before you got hurt? Did you view it that way, at least?
No, I wouldn't say I viewed it that way. I think.
What was the changing point?
Changing point. I'm not sure there was a singular moment or of time. It's just a reflection on a lot of things that I've done and been through in my career. I think I've been through more than most, and certainly not easy on the brain or the body. So just trying to have fun doing it again.
Doesn't exactly sound like he's thrilled with how things are going in Cincinnati. Couple things here before we play you a clip from Dan Orlovsky on ESPN Radio today, talking about teams like the Jets who could inquire or should inquire about Joe Burrow. He could be unhappy, and that's all fine. Until he says, though, I want to be traded, I don't think the Bengals are going to go out of their way to try and trade him, Dylan. So to me, this all really comes down to, does Joe Burrow actually want to ask out? Because unless he does, there's no way Cincinnati's going to go out of their way to start shopping Joe Burrow around, because they're not going to do that. That's just not how this works.
Yeah, I think it's all going to come down to conversations that happen behind the scenes between Burrow and the front office of the Bengals. Obviously, it shouldn't wait as long as the exit interview after the regular season, right? For the non-playoff teams, they clean out their locker and they have their exit interviews and they go home and whatever. Don't let it get up to that point. If you're the Bengals, right? I'm trying to help the Bengals here and keep Joe Burrow. You got to go to him now and try to help him out and say, what can we do to fix this? Because right now it doesn't seem like anything good is happening in his mind and for the future of him in this team. Obviously, he does have to go to them and officially say, yeah, I want to be traded. But until that happens, it doesn't look good. Somebody asked in the comments, who's sadder, Brees or Burrow? And I think it's Burrow, man. I genuinely think he's done with it. All the injuries are piling up because he can't be protected because the front office is failing to put good pieces in front of him. They obviously have the pass catching weapons, right? That's all well and good, but he's been taking a lot of injuries, and that does weigh on somebody. Shefty had the stat earlier, him and Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck played 86 games in this league, 174 sacks taken. Joe Burrow, 73 games, 203 sacks taken. So on 13 less games, almost a season's less of games than Andrew Luck, he's been sacked 29 more times. That's egregious. That's almost 2.5 sacks in just those games that he's outplayed Andrew Luck. So it's this dude's taking shots. He's only 29. It doesn't sound like he wants to retire, though. When he said it doesn't change my desire to win, that still means he's got a lot left in the tank. He's got a lot of fire. We always have known Joe Burrow as a competitor, right? Even from when he transferred out of Ohio State and went to LSU and was getting clowned on as the backup and then came in and won the national championship for them. He's always had that competitive edge to him. So I do think there's a lot left in the tank. And until obviously he officially wants out of Cincinnati, or until he says, I don't want to go to the Jets and bang Mateo's right, everybody can screw off, then, we're going to have to sit here and talk about it, because this is why Glenn and Muji got their 8 picks, right? The 2 first-rounders this year, the 2 second-rounders this year, the 3 first-rounders next year, and the second-rounder next year. There's a reason you have these picks, and that's so that you can entertain these conversations whether it's Burrow or Stroud or Trevor Lawrence, any of the names, if they became available, and we've seen quarterback flexibility and like changes happen on a dime, right? Things change all the time, and a quarterback is going to hit the market that nobody expects this year. If it's Joe Burrow, at least the Jets give themselves a chance to entertain these conversations. It's probably not going to happen. Cincinnati's probably going to want too much, or they're not going to want to trade him inside the AFC, sure. But there's probably still a 0.5, 0.6% chance that it happens. And that's the stuff we're going to talk about because we need a quarterback desperately.
I mean, the big thing is once a guy like Luka Doncic can be traded, I guess anyone in professional sports could be traded. That was eye-opening. So I won't automatically say no way. Where I struggle with it is he's got a full no trade. And would Joe Burrow really want to waive his no trade to go to the Jets? Now, if you're going to argue the Jet perspective, good offensive line, number one receiver, good running back, you have a decent tight end in Mason Taylor, cap space to still surround Burrow with more pieces. But again, the argument against the Jets is, one, you're the Jets. Two, Aaron Glenn. It's not like they have this a great offensive coach that is perfect for Joe Burrow. It's not like the Vikings are in on him and Kevin O'Connell's there with the pieces they have, right? You have a complete novice at head coach. I don't know if Joe Burrow is a believer in like Tanner Engstrand as his play caller, and he wants to go to the MetLife turf as his new home field stadium of choosing, right? A guy who's been banged up in his career. He wants to spend 8 or 9 home games a year in the regular season playing at MetLife Stadium with their turf. Like, I'm not so sure. And then he goes from one bad ownership group to another, going from Mike Brown to Woody Johnson. So again, we could have some fun and talk about, the Jets being interested. And when you have all these picks, you certainly make the call and you inquire. He would have to waive his no trade clause though. And I'm the biggest Jet fan out there, DT. So are you. It's tough to really make the Jets like this, come up with like this selling point for Burrow, why he choose the Jets over a different team that also would be interested in him.
Yeah, I feel like the best thing that you can sell to a player, and it has nothing to do with the performance, is the fan base. Like, we're just so diehard loyal, or
the city, right? Like, he loves fashion. He gets to be in New York, and he could dress like
he could sit courtside at MSG next to whoever the celebrity is, and get a lot of fame that way. All the nice restaurants and whatever. Yes, the downtown and the New York City lifestyle certainly is appealing. It's tough. I don't see it either, right? Like I said, probably 0.5, 0.6% chance. But I mean, there is a world where the Jets do look more appealing to a player than the Bengals. And I'm not saying Joe Burrow specifically, but the way they do their contracts, it's very strange for an organization that isn't very good. And they got to the Super Bowl one time, and I feel like they're kind of like resting on their laurels of like, we're a really good franchise. And it's like, you're not really that good of a franchise. And I feel like you're being begged to pay the guys that you should have already paid, right? T. Higgins and Trey Hendrickson. In my opinion, if you were trying to capitalize on your window with Joe Burrow, you are proactively trying to sign these guys and not waiting till the last second and being begged by a guy like Joe Burrow publicly too to sign their guys to keep this window alive. And then he obviously suffers the injury and their season kind of goes down the toilet, starting, I believe, 2-5 before they traded for Flacco. So it's like, they were out of it before their bye week. So just like the Jets, it's another lost season, and it shows all over his face. He wants to win games, and I don't blame him.
Again, the argument for the Jets is their O-line, Garrett Wilson, the city, but it's just tough for me to picture Joe Burrow being like, yep, I want to leave the Bengals because I'm unhappy here, and let me go be a Jet. This is not a couple of years ago when you had this young team that was ascending that felt like it was just a quarterback. Like, we're just getting over the Aaron Rodgers era here and how poorly that went. I can't picture Joe Burrow, even though he loves being in the spotlight, and I think he'd love playing in New York. I can't picture him being like, yep, I want to be a Jet. I struggle going all the way, picturing that actually being something that he'd want to do.
Yeah, I think I have this team in mind for a different quarterback this offseason. If I'm just projecting where I think the quarterback dominoes are going to fall, just kind of where the Jets are going to be left, like what partner at the dance. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams tried to make an attempt, right? We know their GM, he's just F them picks. And
they do have 2 first rounders.
Exactly. And one is currently a top 10 with the Atlanta Falcons. So tonight, and I know this kind of plays into the Jets' chances too, we almost want Atlanta to win that game because it makes that pick harder for the Rams to get a quarterback if they want one. But it also helps the Jets because they might have a strength of schedule or a record tiebreaker that goes to strength of schedule with the Falcons. Obviously, they lost to them, but head-to-head doesn't matter in the draft order standing. So it is kind of a big game. But I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Burrow landed in the Rams. And there's another quarterback. I guess I'll get out ahead of it. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to go to LA. If Stafford retires, I think it's either going to be Rodgers or they make a play for a rookie up at the top of the draft, or they get Burrow. Like they're not.
I think Rodgers might retire though. This could be it for Rodgers.
Yeah. And he said it publicly that it's probably his last year. But I just think the way it's going for him, he doesn't want it to happen like this. And if he can go play in sunny LA with his boy Devontae one more time and throw those goal line fades like Stafford's getting this year, I think he would do it. But yes, I think ultimately he does. But the Rams are a sneaky team, but because of their capital, and the Browns as well, they allow themselves to be at the table for these conversations. And the Browns, they're not getting Joe Burrow. So it's really just us and the Rams with multiple ones this year, plus additional capital to get up for a guy like Burrow.
This was Dan Orlovsky on ESPN Radio's Unsportsmanlike earlier, making his case for which teams should be interested in Joe Burrow.
Dan, would it shock you if Joe Burrow after this season retired?
It would shock me if he retired, yes. Obviously, there's a lot of similarities here to Andrew Luck. It would shock me if 3 teams weren't on the phone today after what he said yesterday, figuring out how do we make him part of our football team now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. He obviously is in a bad place with that organization. It's not surprising. But I would be very surprised if he chose not to play football.
Are you 3 teams you're saying offhanded, or do you have 3 teams in mind?
I have 3 in mind.
Care to share?
Jets, Raiders, Steelers.
Oh.
Those would be the 3 that if I were those 3 organizations, I'm in a brainstorm meeting now. We are figuring out a way to propose a way to get Joe Burrow. And I don't necessarily care what it takes.
Look, I would trade basically anything if the Jets could get him. I struggle to see why he'd choose the Jets over other options, but you at least make the call. So, DT, what I'm going to show you right here is a trade proposal that friend of the show, Will Parkinson, suggested on Twitter today. He says he'd call the Bengals and he'd offer the Jets first this year, the Jets second this year, the Cowboys first that the Jets own next year, the Jets first next year, and the Jets third in 2027. So 3 ones and a top 40 second round pick, right? So you're talking about almost 4 first rounders. He's basically saying this is the starting offer here. Maybe it costs a little more, I'm not sure. But again, basically everything to me would be on the table if he actually wanted to play for you. I find it hard to believe he would, but I would have no problem offering this if this is what it would take to try and get Joe Burrow to be a Jet.
Oh, yeah. Pretty much in a heartbeat. Like, I don't think people realize, like, how adamant I am about taking the veteran route as opposed to doing even, like, half this package for a Dante Moore or Fernando Mendoza. I truly just think this team operates better with a veteran under center. So, yeah, in this situation, you could look at your draft class as Joe Burrow, the Colts first round pick, whoever you take. Let's just insert a wide receiver because we're trying to help Joe Burrow. Then you have the Cowboys second round pick. You go get yourself offensive line, whether that's a starter or depth. And then you still have 1 first round pick and your second round pick next year as well. So yeah, I don't think Will is offering up a crazy contract or a crazy trade package rather, but oh gosh, we're already here with the old helmet. Ugh, the new jerseys, but the old helmet. AI, come on, man. No, I'm just kidding. Whoever did this jersey swap, this is actually pretty nice. But it could happen, man. I'm not saying it's gonna, but that's a package I would do in a heartbeat because you still have enough pieces to build around. And the expectation is Joe Burrow elevates players, right? We think Fernando Mendoza could elevate players. He's certainly doing so in Indiana, but like Joe Burrow is an elevator of players. Like if he's healthy, which we think he could be under this offensive line, there's no doubt in my mind he can learn Tanner Engstrand's playbook. He, to me, is like a very, him and Goff aren't, I'm not saying are dissimilar, but they have a lot of similarities in their game, and he's a little bit more mobile than a Jared Goff is. So, yeah, I think it's all possible, but it just depends. Again, does he say he wants out, and does he say yes to even entertaining the Jets? It's a lot of ifs, buts, and maybes, but I don't want to rule it out. Like, there's nothing we should rule out at this point in the season, whether it's draft related or free agent trade related. It's anything's on the table because of the amount of picks and dollars that we have.
Yeah,
And
I mean, look, Dylan, if he's just that frustrated with Cincinnati and just wants to get out, maybe the team doesn't matter if he just wants like a fresh start, and maybe then he would be open for the Jets. But I agree, man. You got 5 ones over the next 2 years. Even if you traded 3 of them and some of your 2s, you still would have plenty of resources left over and cap space to build the team around Burrow. And again, when he plays, he's a top 5 quarterback in the sport, and he's 28, 29 years old. This is not acquiring Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers in their 40s. You're getting a guy who could be your quarterback for the next 8 to 10 years. And you already have the offensive line in place for him, where it immediately would be the best collection of tackles he's played with. So that's why you at least entertain it. Again, I find it hard to believe, 1, Cincinnati's going to trade him. 2, if he does ask out, he actually would say, yep, send me to the Jets, because of my concerns with him not wanting to play at MetLife and dealing with Woody and all that. It's not like he has any relationship with Aaron Glenn or Tanner Engstrand. But once again, people are going to mention the Jets because by nature of the amount of picks they have, they're going to be in the conversation for any quarterback that could potentially shake free.
Yeah. And I might need 3 siblings, Jay, in the chat to just explain why the offensive line sucks. I don't get that. That to me doesn't make sense.
The Jets offensive line?
Yeah, the Jets offensive line stinks. I don't get that. And I don't know what we're watching. And maybe if you're just, under the assumption that 6 sacks allowed to Brady Cook when he was fumbling snaps and couldn't really, make his reads in a game where he was obviously very nervous, then, you can take it as a 1-game sample size. But the Jets offensive line, by and large, to use a Nick Faria phrase, I feel like has been very, very good.
Yeah, I mean, Jay's the king of bad takes, so you just got to ignore him. Hey, why don't we do this before we open up the phone lines? We have a sick raffle that is available today for you to enter and win. End of the show. Speaking of Joe's, a signed Joe Namath football is the top prize. If you entered this morning, you're accounted for. This is the last show to enter for your chance to win. When you enter, you also qualify for the weekly prizes, which this week features a grand prize of a signed Revis football, signed Wayne Corbett jersey, and a signed LaDainian Tomlinson 8x10 photo. So make sure you enter for your chance to win the Broadway Joe Namath autographed football at the end of the show. Let me shout out the memberships and then get to some super chats before we get to your calls. Talking Burrow to the New York Jets. Mike Dems is in the house. He gifted 5 channel memberships.
Hello? You play to win the game.
Mike, thank you. C starts it off. If Joe Burrow actually pulls a luck, that creates another QB-needing team in the top 10 draft pick range. Yeah, I mean, if he just straight up retired, for sure, Cincinnati then is in play for a quarterback early. I don't think he's going to retire, though. I think he's maybe burnt out at playing in Cincinnati, but I don't think he's going to just quit football altogether. That would really surprise me. You're on mute, Dylan.
I think just in terms of his words alone there, I feel like it's a large reach to say that he's going to retire. So, yeah, I don't know if he necessarily retires, but this is all the more incentive, right? If this is not going to end well between Burrow and the Bengals, they currently have the 10th pick in the draft, dude. They're 4-9. They could easily stay in that range naturally and then get the Rams with the Falcons pick or the Jets with their natural pick plus other picks, obviously. And then they have their pick, which is going to be probably top 12, 13, depending on how they finish. And then another pick higher than that. And they can go get their quarterback. That's what it really comes down to, is opportunity and cost, right? Can they recoup enough to go up and get their quarterback if they need to? And do they feel good about the process of replacing Joe Burrow in the process? Because then if Joe Burrow goes to the Bengals and they're like, sure, we'll go take a king's ransom from a team and we'll have all these picks and we'll be able to do what we're talking about with the Jets and trade up to number 1 for Fernando Mendoza, then they'd feel just as happy getting rid of Joe Burrow in that regard too, if they had a plan in place. But if there is no way for them to get the quarterback this year, Joe Burrow is staying, unless he obviously wants out.
Charles Gorman, do my eyes deceive me, has gifted 5 channel memberships.
Who wanna fly with them Jets?
In the raffle for 5 is Charles Eugene M. Gormani. Carlos with a super chat. Say it with me, Joey B. Going to be a JET. I hope you're right. I really do. I would love to be all in on this. I don't know. Maybe the damage the last few seasons has caused me has like stunted my belief to thinking this could actually happen.
Hey man, there's people that told us Aaron Rodgers wasn't going to come to the Jets. I think a lot of people in the chat should appreciate that we're talking about Joe Burrow instead of like, do the Jets trade for Kyler Murray? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like Joe Burrow, at least he keeps the hope alive. Like the Jets thrive on just having hope. And like, obviously it needs to turn into results, but Joe Burrow gives you the most hope of all the options we've even entertained, like more so than Fernando Mendoza. I don't care who has the most conviction in Fernando Mendoza. Like Joe Burrow gives you way more of a chance to win in 2026 than Fernando Mendoza does.
Bino says Shefty said this day would come. He hasn't asked out yet, though. Like, let's make it clear. People are speculating based on the comments we played at the beginning of this stream, and it's been a big talking point on all the shows today. I know I talked about it when I was on the radio today. I know the afternoon show on ESPN New York led with it. You know, Get Up is all over. Like, all the main shows are hitting on it. But, again, he has to say, I want out. That hasn't happened. He just was very cryptic about his future yesterday and sounded depressed like his dog died. But that's not a I want out of Cincinnati, trade me. And that's not a I want to be a Jet, trade me to the Jets, like when Rodgers went on McAfee and said he wanted to play for the Jets.
Yeah. And I will say Shefty did add, and I guess like on his podcast or whatever, I saw a snippet of it on Twitter, that his sources around the league from non-Bengals teams are immediately talking to him about like, okay, well, you know, like he has the rumblings of other teams already putting motions into place of like, if this were to happen, do we even have a chance to go do it? So like, I'm actually encouraged that when there's smoke, there can build fire, dude. And we will hit on it at some point, but Mobile, dude, if there's rumblings, it's going to come out in Mobile, and it's going to be so exciting to be there.
It really is amazing that since he's been in the league, the Bengals pass blocking win rate, dead last in the league, highest they ever finished in a single season was 27th in 2023. Like they've had him now for what, 7 seasons, and they've yet to build one competent offensive line group, and he still was able to go to a Super Bowl one of those years and win a playoff game in another. And last year had one of the great seasons you'll see from a quarterback, but because their defense was the worst in football, they only went 9-8. Like it really is crazy if you think about it.
And I'm pretty sure that Super Bowl lost because Aaron Donald could not be stopped by their offensive line. And it's like, if you were just able to stop Aaron Donald a little bit, a smidge, I know it's hard to stop Aaron Donald. He's one of the best in the world for a reason. But Aaron Donald single-handedly destroyed that Super Bowl, if I remember correctly. And that was like the whole talking point of like, are the Bengals at their peak with this style of offensive play? And it's kind of been, you know, the same, if not worse, ever since.
Here's your Andrew Luck, Joe Burrow by the numbers comp for you, DT.
All right. So for as generational as Andrew Luck is, nobody said Joe Burrow was generational, and his NFL numbers are way more impressive. Yes, less yardage, but the touchdown to interception ratio, like Andrew Luck threw a lot of picks. Joe Burrow is a special talent, man. And if he can stay healthy, he's somebody that's so easy to root for. I don't have PBM type vibes for him, but he is very easy to root for.
Again, if he actually wanted out, you do everything in your power to get him, Jet fans. I understand he's dealt with some injuries, but when he plays, he's among the best to ever play the position. I mean, look at the numbers. The numbers are insane for what he's done. He got hurt his rookie year. Then he was healthy in 21 and 22. He got hurt in 2023. He played every game last year and was great through 43 touchdowns. This year, he's been banged up, and it's been unfortunate. But look, when he plays, he's among the best in the sport, and it's a quarterback-driven sport. And I don't trust the Jets to hit on a quarterback and develop a quarterback. So if you have the easy way out to get Burrow and it just costs you draft picks, you got to do it. I just don't think he'd want to be a Jet. But I hope to God I'm wrong.
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily mean to take the easy way out, honestly, because what's to say Joe Burrow, if they make it work, and obviously that's the most gigantic if the Jets have never answered about their quarterback position, Joe Burrow is your starter for 10 years. If you figure it out and he stays healthy, he's 29. He can play into his 40s. This is an old man's game. Grandpa Rivers just got called up off the couch, or I guess off the high school sidelines. But it's like, yeah, I just feel like it doesn't necessarily have to be the rookie quarterback to turn the franchise around. But I mean, if that's not the path they want to go, and then Joe Burrow or somebody else is going to have to be the option, because to me, you have to be competitive in 2026 with the rookie in the wings waiting behind as the backup for most of, if not the full rookie season, or you have a high-end bridge option like a Kyler Murray type bridge option to get you to 2027 quarterback. So I don't know. You don't have to go the rookie route necessarily, but please just have a plan this offseason for the position.
It's funny if Joe Burrow is like, I'll only become a Jet if you guys get grass playing surfaces for the stadium. You think Woody Johnson's ripping up the turf and getting grass? That means he can get Joe Burrow?
They're doing it for the
for soccer.
They're doing it for the World Cup. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Like, come on. You can't just invest into the players on your own payroll. Like,
that would make too much sense.
Yeah.
Some super chats. Then we're going to get to plenty of your calls coming up. Mace B says, do OCs get to have input on the next quarterback? Seems best performing quarterbacks are the ones OC adjusts style to, rather than OC wants quarterback to play to their playbook, right? I mean, typically the quarterback you have, your OC works with the skill set of your quarterback. A guy like Burrow, like, he tells you what he's doing. I mean, he's Joe Burrow. So, like, if he says to Tanner Engstrand, hey, run these plays, they're going to run those plays. That's how it works with a guy that good.
Yeah, when you have a guy of this stature enter the building, obviously not to the fullest extent of like Rodgers, but you're going to mesh a lot of the concepts that work in Engstrand's offense now, and you're just going to add or reduce based on what Joe's preferences and tendencies are. That's how any good quarterbacking would work. As far as their input in the next quarterback, they should. And I'm not sure. Like, I'm not trying to relieve any blame of Engstrand, but like, how much did he have in the say of signing Justin Fields versus Aaron Glenn? Kind of just like, okay, this is my OC, but this is the quarterback we absolutely want in Justin Fields, blah, blah, blah. And then you're kind of stuck with Justin Fields. And I never thought it was a good fit from a timing perspective, unless they were able to get all those things out of Justin Fields that they simply just could not, whether it was their fault or his fault. But yeah, a guy like Joe Burrow, you mix the blending of the two playbooks and you find all the concepts that work. It's a very, easy process from that regard. But if it's a rookie quarterback, Jake, Engstrand needs to be in the war room in the first round, in all those meetings about the quarterbacks, giving his input immediately on like, okay, after our meeting with this guy, I sat down and we went over some plays, and I really like the way he was recalling these plays. I like him on my board. He might not be the biggest athlete, the fastest guy on the field, but I really think his brain is going to be able to do it for us. Those little things that Engstrand can input have to be involved in this offseason, because I feel like LaFleur didn't get that opportunity with Zach either, because it was their first year. So it's like so many things are so hard with the first year OC, but now it's their second year and their second stab at quarterback. You have to have at least some influence on the decision.
Kyle Clifton, super chat. All no trade means he gets to choose a team if and when he says he wants out. None of us have an idea what his criteria is. I think the Jets are unlikely, but not impossible. Rams and Eagles are interesting. Yeah, I mean, look, if the Rams are in, they obviously are clearly interesting. Look at their coach. Philadelphia speaks for itself with their roster. I just like the cost for Burrow might be too much for those teams too. As crazy as it is, like they might not want to give 3 firsts and then some, and then absorb his contract. The Jets are in a different spot. They never have a quarterback. They have cap space and picks. They have the most amount of like total resources of any team when you combine cap space plus premium picks. So that's why the Jets are going to be in the conversation for any of these type of veteran quarterback deals.
100%. And Kyle, he kind of jogged my memory of this too. He brings up the Eagles as an interesting spot. Okay, so what happens with Jalen Hurts, right? That's the domino effect of this quarterback market.
Yep.
I would certainly buy low on Jalen Hurts. I do not care that he had one bad game against the Chargers. I understand he's having a down year. That's okay. They just came off a Super Bowl run. I feel like a lot of things are going wrong in Philadelphia right now, not just the quarterback play. And
what
I feel
would
like
you trade for Hurts if he's available?
I don't think it's the package will put up. I don't think you would need to, but it is going to cost you a 1 and then a future 1+. So like, would I give up? I would give up our top. You'd have to, no matter what, it's a non-starter if you don't add the Jets' natural first-round pick, right? That top 10 asset has to go back to any team. So you're giving up the top 10 pick. you're probably giving up one of your twos. And then if they want, then for a veteran, I would give up one of the first rounders next year of probably the Packers/Cowboys one. I would give them that one because I don't want to necessarily risk giving the Colts one up right now based on where their quarterback play is going and their trajectory next year is in terms of a record. And the Jets, I don't know, where that pick's going to land either. So I would just give them the Cowboys and the Packers, whichever one that is. So 2 1s and a 2 for Jalen Hurts, 100%.
Matt L wants a Namath football. He is in the raffle for 5.
Hello? You play to win the game.
We're playing to win this autographed football by Broadway Joe Namath. Make sure you enter before the show ends. Mace B says Lamar should have a ring by now. Harbaugh's a goner next season. So is Stefanski, maybe Zach Taylor. AFC North will have the biggest change, and the Jets could pick up the pieces. You likely for the Jets, ? He's really good. Isaiah Likely, free agent end of the year. I'd be interested in signing another tight end. Your thoughts on him, DT?
Yeah, I mean, if the Ravens would stop, re-upping on their, soon-to-be free agents, they already did Mark Andrews, and now they did Travis Jones 3 years, I think $40 million today. So that was 2 upcoming free agents already off the board. So if they lock up Likely, obviously he's not available. But yeah, this makes sense. I mean, he's not just a tight end, right? They use him more as like a flex, a power slot. But at the same time, we have those guys in Stone Smart and Jelani stuck in the woods, and we don't use them. So it's like, do we want the power slot tight end that doesn't, isn't really a plus run blocker? And, is that the route we want to go for our 12 personnel when Mason Taylor can do all those things? And then you just go get a Jeremy Ruckert replacement in like the 4th round, like a Max Clare from Ohio State, coincidentally the same school. And then he's more of your, type. Maybe he's not a blocking type, but in that range, right? You get a blocking guy in the 4th or 5th round, like Jackson Hawes was last year. I think that's more the path I would go at tight end just because of what Mason Taylor already gives you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a super chat from Jay Mull in our raffle for 2. He writes in, Raiders get the first pick and take Mendoza. Simpson looks like hot garbage again in the CFP, and Moore goes back to school. Then what do you do? Get ready to learn Jaden Mayava or Darian Mensah.
Yeah, John Mateer. Nobody likes John Mateer anymore, but yeah, I mean, okay, so Raiders get the first overall pick, which it could happen. They take Mendoza. Simpson is garbage, but he comes out. Okay. And then Moore goes back. I mean, you either risk it for the biscuit on Ty Simpson and make Tank for Ty in the chat really happy. Isn't it amazing how truthers already start for guys before they even get into the NFL?
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, this is a tough situation. That's part of the whole equation. And this is why Darren Muji and every single general manager in the top 8 that has a quarterback need, like the Raiders, like what does John Spytek think right now? Does he want to go a veteran quarterback route? Does he want to trade for a Joe Burrow? Does he want to go get Kyler Murray if he's cut out of Arizona? Like, those are all the decisions that the GMs have to make, and it all starts with the quarterback position. So if this is the case, I honestly hope that Kyler Murray is a Jet, truthfully, in that situation. I want to win next year, dude. I don't want a Jacoby Brissett. I don't want a Jameis Winston. I don't want any of those guys, even if you have the rookie in behind. Like,
I would argue Brissett might be better than Murray, though.
Yes, you can argue that right this season that he looks a lot better than what Kyler Murray was putting out on tape, but Kyler Murray still is a very good player, in my opinion. And there's a lot of rumors that he is healthy and that his team leaked to the reporters that he is healthy and can play, and the Cardinals are choosing not to. So maybe you can call that up as an indictment on Kyler, or maybe it's the Cardinals being, competitively tanking. But I don't know. I think Kyler Murray is still a better option than, those other quarterbacks that we've been talking about.
So if this option played itself out, I would take someone in like the 2nd round, I guess, or late 1, something like that. And then I would, basically go through another year where we're just going through the motions for 26 and getting my quarterback long-term in 27. I mean, if you bring in Murray, you have to have a rookie behind him. Like,
Yes,
it can't just
100%.
be Kyler Murray and nobody else.
Yeah. Like if the Jets picked 3rd, I did a video, Draft Talk with DT last night, and I did a lot of draft scenarios, tried to be realistic, right? And the Jets ended in the most ideal scenario at the 3rd overall pick behind the Commanders and the Giants, 2 teams that don't need quarterbacks. Now, if they needed to trade up above teams that were trying to jump them, then sure, they could do that. But in that situation, even if they get Dante Moore or Fernando Mendoza, please sit them. I don't care. Please sit them, right? And that's why I want a guy more of the ilk of Kyler Murray, because I'm cool with spending free agency dollars on the quarterback position. Even, flip the Fields contract, right? 2 for $40 for Kyler, but you flip it. So it's front loaded and there's no heavy money on 2027, so that when your rookie quarterback is ready, you can start him in 2027 and you can get out of the Kyler contract. Or if Kyler's playing well, you take it into 20 plus games of the rookie sitting. I don't have a problem with the rookie sitting because I think a lot of them need to. If Simpson comes out, I want him to sit. If Moore comes out, I want him to sit. If Mendoza comes out, I still want him to sit. Like, I don't want the Jets forced week 1. This is the guy. Look at the room that they had around Zach Wilson when he first started. It was abysmal. It was like James Morgan, Zach Wilson, and another guy who had never started a game in the NFL. You can't have that. You need Mike White. Thank you. The best guy of the bunch. And you need credibility in the room. So that's why I'm for a guy like Kyler.
Super chats, cut the line. This one is from FP Strupa. Who hangs up the phone first, the Jets or the Bengals? All 5 Jets first-round picks in the next 2 years, and maybe a day 2 pick for Burrow and Chase. I would do that.
They would hang up the phone because you added Jamar in it. If it was this for Joe, then yeah, you could entertain it. But also, I think it's draft day that they can add the 2028 draft picks onto it. So if you took it all the way up to draft day and you got Jamar Chase with the 2028 first-round pick, so 6 first-round picks, maybe it entices them. But I don't think the Bengals do this with Chase in the deal.
Yeah, it's not happening. I see Tyrone goes 3 first, 2 seconds, and wants Burrow and Chase. Yeah,
we're getting over our skis now. Like we're already over our skis entertaining the topic, but I feel like now we're just trying to do way too much franchise mode.
Embolette, Murray is douchey mini Fields.
Sure, I guess. I don't know. I don't really care about his.
I don't think Kyler Murray's a bad guy necessarily.
No, I don't care about his affinity of video games. Yes, it was a bad look that they put it in the contract that he shouldn't be playing as much video games, but like, would I rather my guy be playing video games or would I rather him be doing other things that are, detrimental to his career? I don't know, man. Kyler's not a perfect guy, and that's why it's so hard to answer the question, but like, I'm not taking the Jacoby Brissett variant with a rookie behind him. Like, that's the easiest path to 3 wins. We're changing coaches and 2027 with 3 first-round picks. Hopefully an offensive-minded coach. I mean, maybe, but like, do we want to root for that? No.
No, we got to hire another first-time defensive coach with no background whatsoever as far as being a head coad when we
Jesse Minter from the Chargers? Absolutely. Bring him down.
Jim Leonard will be the Jet head coach in 2028.
Yeah, right.
Hennessy says, Burrow will have fun here with this circus.
I mean, again, I don't think Woody is the 32nd worst owner in the league. I think Jerry Jones competes with him. I think Dave Tepper competes with him. And I do think the Bengals organization is dangerously close to competing with Woody Johnson. There are bad franchises out there other than the Jets. We're just, we're kind of locked in with the Jets, so we know how bad it is. But look at Bengals Twitter. Just look at Bengals Twitter, man. It's awful. It's a terrible place to be sometimes.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is open. Let's get to your calls now. And oh boy, do we have a who's who of Asmaniacs that are on the line. First up today is...
Get ready for Neil. He will make 13 points about the New York Jets and maybe hump a Patriots jersey. Get ready for Neil. He's probably smoking a big fat cigar and burning his house to the ground. That's Neil.
Gentlemen,
Neil,
how are you? Dylan,
what's up, Neil?
Boy, I mentioned Kyler Murray. I got trashed like a $3 prostitute. You mentioned it, and everybody likes the idea.
I don't know if everybody likes it, but I think
nobody likes it.
Nobody likes it.
Frankie P. What did he say yesterday, Jake? He said if they take Murray, he's going to stop being a Jet fan. Remember?
No, that was Ryan Sampson. Yeah.
Oh, Sampson. Sampson said that. Yeah. No, I thought it was Frankie. No,
that was Sampson. Yeah. And honestly, I mean, I think if it came down to it, I think he's probably, and I don't want to speak for Ryan, but like, did he talk about if it was via trade or via, just signing him in free agency? Because I think it's a whole new conversation if Kyler is cut in Arizona and you don't have to trade picks, which honestly, there's more of like a Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford element to this where the Cardinals might have to give somebody picks to take the Kyler Murray contract. That is an albatross of a contract. So if he's cut, yeah, I would totally spend free agency dollars on him.
Yeah, he's going to be cut, no doubt.
Well, I don't want to say no doubt, but like somebody might trade for him. Like they might want to take on, what if Arizona gave the Jets a 2nd round pick and then we did like a late round pick swap or something for Kyler Murray, where like the parameters of the trade were the Jets getting a 2nd, or maybe we flip 2s and like something weird like that, right? Where the Jets gain capital and take on the Murray contract. It's not a bad spot to be in. The Lions did it with Jared Goff and it actually worked out for them. Obviously, they had a plan for him, but
Dylan, statistically, he's the best bridge statistically that's out there right now. Jacoby Brissett, by the way, is ranked 10th in the AFC right now. I like Jacoby Brissett, but again, it's the same type of deal.
He's ranked 10th in what?
And yards.
Oh, just yards?
In the AFC.
He's in the NFC.
He plays in the NFC, though.
Oh, NFC. I meant NFC. Sorry, Jake. All right.
Well, I was confused what stat we're coming up with.
All right. I saw in the newspaper NFC ranking quarterbacks by yards. He was number 10. So he's doing pretty good.
Sure. I mean, he's a competent bridge quarterback.
Yeah, and he you know what? He's durable. He makes he set a record for completions one game this year. He knows how to read defenses, and he's only 32. I was shocked when we looked him up last time, and he was just that young. I thought he was like 35, but he's not that old.
You're talking about Kyler Murray?
No, I'm talking about Brissett.
Oh, Brissett. Yeah, okay. I was like, wait, no way Kyler's 30 plus. I was like, there's no way.
No.
Yeah, Brissett. Yeah, he's in his mid-30s. Yeah, he's been around for a while.
Yeah, I mean,
it's an old man's game. It's an old man's game. We saw Rivers just get signed. I mean, guys are playing into their late 30s, early 40s. Like it's
Broadway Joe. If we could get Broadway Joe B, that would be the scorer of the century. I don't care if we give up draft picks from now till when I'm dead. I'll take him any day of the week. One thing I want to make a mention of, this is my one point, and I'm only going to make one because it's prime rib night tonight at my restaurant I go to. Nice prime rib waiting for me. They have a great deal out here at, I always forget the name of the restaurant, but they have a prime rib, vegetable, mashed potatoes, $30. Good deal. And it's a good prime rib.
Take a picture of you enjoying it later, all right?
What's that?
Take a picture of you enjoying it later and put it in the
I eat only half of it. Michelle and I split it. They split it down the middle for us. But
someone said that you forget the name of everything. That's a good point.
Yeah, I know. What the hell? What do you think?
What are those cigars filled with, Neil?
It's called Buckley's. Buckley's. They have a couple of them out here on Long Island. Buckley's Irish Pub or Buckley's Irish something. They have great chicken pot pie, the old Irish dishes, fantastic. Chicken pot pie. And what's the other thing with the mashed potatoes on top with the meat inside, the other Irish thing that you eat? Pretty good. Anyhow, one thing I didn't like about Brady Cook, I want to go back to a play. If you remember, I don't remember it was the end of the half or whatever, where he snapped the ball and all the defenders ran backwards. And our offensive line was standing there with nobody to block. You remember that play?
No, I don't recall.
Oh, yeah. There was a play where the entire Miami defense ran away. I think there was like 17 seconds left in the half.
Okay.
And we were driving, and they all dropped back. And Brady Cook he could have run for at least 15 yards before anybody touched him with the entire offensive line in front of him. And he threw a sideline pass out of bounds and didn't get the completion. He didn't run at all. This guy's supposed to have legs. So what I want to see, me, Peter, a couple other people, I am so excited we got Adrian Martinez back because I remember in preseason he had that Green Bay game, and he did pretty well in that Green Bay game. Threw for 157 yards, and he had a touchdown pass, and he moves. You know, look, Adrian Martinez has experience. He won a championship in the USFL. I know that doesn't mean much, but you know, I heard somebody tell me he's a Streveler.
I did. I said that because he came from the same path. Because you said go look at his film in the UFL.
Ball. Okay, he's no Streveler. Okay, he could throw the ball.
I wasn't saying that.
Okay, what were you going to say?
I wasn't saying he is Streveler. You told me to go watch his UFL games, and I'm like, I'm not going to go watch a secondary league because that's how we ended up with Streveler, thinking he was all good. It's just in two different leagues. Like, I'm glad that he
but didn't somebody
in
end up with a quarterback by the name of Kurt Warner that came out of
when those leagues were actually developmental and helpful to the NFL, those leagues were good. But now those leagues are shit. Look at the competition there. I think Quantez Stiggers was another one from one of those leagues.
Yeah, but
he's okay. He's solid.
Yeah, but
like
Dylan, you got to realize something. It's one thing to say it's shitty, but you got to realize something. He won the championship and he was the MVP. So it's not like the guy's a trash can. You know what I mean?
No. But then I also went on my message and I said that it felt like Brady Cook handedly beat him out in camp.
No, he didn't. I watched the preseason. He did not beat him out.
We all did.
Brady Cook.
The practices matter too.
Yeah, Brady Cook throws wobblers all preseason.
So why do you, but Neil, if you believe that Adrian Martinez is better, why do you think that they went with Cook in the first place and they're still going with Cook?
Because he was younger, and they wanted to, and he was a UDFA, and they wanted to give him a shot.
Yeah, but Martinez is not old. It's not like we're talking about a guy in his 30s. He's young too.
Well, why did San Francisco scoop him up?
And then they released him.
All right, because
Brock was hurt. I found the play you were talking about. So the Jets
had that play? Put that on his screen. It was disgusting. With 17 seconds left, he could have run for the field goal. He could have made the line to make a field goal without even being touched. And he threw the goddamn ball. Okay? It was all offensive linemen in front of him. No defenders. He could have probably got a touchdown.
Hold on, Jake. Don't share that yet. I don't know why it's not working. I don't want to Joe Blue at this whole thing.
Does this really matter, Neil?
No, but it matters that he hasn't run, Jake. He didn't even run one time in the game.
There you go.
To me, it's a problem. Look at this play.
You have 10 seconds left in the game. They're at the 46.
He could have run 15 yards and got out of bounds and kick a field goal. Go ahead, run it.
Did they have a time? Did they have a timeout? You're telling me they had a timeout. I don't remember. You have to tell me.
If they didn't have a timeout, they had plenty of time for him to run 15 yards and step out of bounds with 5
Neil,
seconds
there's
left.
10 seconds on the clock. Look at it.
All right, go ahead. Run the play.
So they're running.
Play. Watch what Miami does.
They do have a timeout. They're all running.
Look how much room he has. He could have run to the 45 or 42 without even being touched and kicked the field goal. It took him 6 seconds to run 30 yards.
Which way is he running?
Yeah, where is he going?
He isn't right or left, out of bounds, Jake. The whole offensive line.
They're at the 46-yard line of Miami. How far is he getting?
What?
They're at Miami's 46-yard line. How far is he getting?
Look at that.
What yard line is
for a field goal?
The 35. Where is he getting to the 35? He's at the minus 45, Neil. That's 20 yards of running. There's no way he's doing that.
But the defense is 15 yards back.
Because they know that he has to throw it.
But keep rolling it. Keep rolling the play. Roll the play.
I'm gonna roll
the play.
Okay. Where's he going now, Neil? There's 7 yards between him and that defender. Where's he going if the line of scrimmage is the 46?
I just told you, he could have got at least 7 yards, stepped out of bounds, and taken a shot at a field goal. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think he's getting 7 yards at any point.
Listen, he is trash. I'm not saying Brady Cook. Maybe he'll be okay. He looked all right, but I'm telling you right now, be prepared.
Does it matter?
Adrian Gonzalez is going to play well for us.
Adrian Gonzalez.
He may win a game for us.
These goddamn exploding cigars. I gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
Adrian Gonzalez. What is this? MLB The Show 2007.
I love Neil. This is all about 1 point, and then he goes into talking about an Irish pub and forgetting the name of it.
What? Like, who cares? Adrian Martinez is not good. Brady Cook is probably not good either. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Root for them to lose games at this point, Neil. It will be better for our future.
The fact that we're at this point where the Jets are starting a third or fourth quarterback, I mean, it's pretty on par for the Jets, but like, come on, man. Like, it doesn't matter. We're arguing over quarterback 35 in the league versus quarterback 40 in the league. Really, like, let's be honest. I do have a question though. Was the film okay? Did it run smoothly?
Cool. Look great.
Cool.
Joe Blewett bought a new computer, people. Don't worry. He's going to be a new man when he does film reviews.
I have a feeling that his old computer is so loaded up with clips. Like, he had 100+ of Mendoza in that one file. I'm like, Joe's ramming that storage into that computer. And I'm sure he said it was an older laptop. So, but it was unfortunate because I do love watching Joe's film breakdowns. He's always very insightful. And I always end up like taking a whole note card worth of notes when I listen to Joe.
Joe will be with us this upcoming week, and we're going to do more on the QBs in college with his new computer for all the plays. Henny writes in, if Neil mentioned Daniel or Mac Jones last year, he would be getting killed in the chat. Fast forward this year, we should have signed them. Yeah, I mean, people love the revisionist history, man. That's how it goes.
Hindsight's always 20/20, and it's easy to say no quarterback is worth risking it for. And then we'll get 6 to 8 games into the season. It's like, why the hell did we do this? It's like, come on, we have to take our chances. You're not going to love the chance that they take, and not everybody's going to get on board. And my opinion is going to be different than your opinion, which is going to be different than Oregon Jets' opinion, which is going to be different than Boom's opinion. But it's like, there's got to be a solution, right? And as long as they have the path to the solution, at least in their minds, I can get on board with it.
Big fella is in our Joe Namath signed football raffle coming up at the end of the show today for 2. If Burrow leaves Cincy, he'll go to a team that's close like Philly. We have too many holes. We need to build our team through the draft and free agency. Also, say some prayers for Johnny Boy. I was going to mention Johnny Boy, big fella, so I'm glad that you did. He is unfortunately in the hospital right now. I found out this morning. Snowball wrote a note in our Discord, so everyone send your well wishes to Johnny Boy, who hopefully is recovering and will be A-okay after a procedure done this morning. So thinking about you, Johnny Boy. Hennessy checks in with a super chat. If Neil mentioned, actually, no, I just read that one. Let me skip to Matt, who wrote in the USFL. We might as well bring back He Hate Me. I mean, I still see He Hate Me jerseys like out in public to this day.
I'm not familiar.
I don't know the player's name, but in the original XFL, there was a player who had the jersey, the last name He Hate Me, like because you could customize what you wanted the jerseys to say in the like 2001 XFL.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll see. Carlos says no Kyler Murray. Cousins would be a better QB to mentor a rookie.
I mean, sure, but at the same time, I think us as fans put way too much stock in trying to find a mentor. There are so many instances where quarterbacks are starters in this league or view themselves as potential starters in this league, and they don't want to mentor young quarterbacks. When Michael Penix Jr. was drafted number 8 or 9 overall by the Atlanta Falcons, Kirk Cousins was pissed. He was not happy. He thought he was the starter. He wanted a playmaker to help the offense around him. He didn't want competition or somebody to have to mentor. So I don't know. The mentor stuff kind of goes over my head a little bit. I don't really care about the mentorship of it. That's not what they're here for.
Cousins, Murray to me is a better quarterback at this point.
Yes.
I mean, who's the better mentor? I mean, I don't know.
Kirk is probably the better mentor just because like Kyler is younger and doesn't have as much experience and knowledge of different systems in the NFL. Like Kirk Cousins could definitely help a rookie along in an offense, but again, it's just not his job to do it. So like,
yeah,
are you hiring him on the grounds that he has to mentor the guy eventually? Like, I don't know. A lot of people don't want to do it.
Cousins, the fear with him, he's always hurt now too.
Yes.
So you play him. So the rookie doesn't have to play right away. Well, if he gets hurt, well then guess what? The rookie's playing right away. So yeah. I almost think you need to have a quarterback room where you have 2 veterans and you have the rookie, like how the Giants had Russ, Jameis, and then they traded and got Dart in the draft. I'd like to see the Jets add 2 veterans. Maybe it's bringing Tyrod back and then someone else and then the rookie. I would do something like that, but
Kyler, Tyrod, and a rookie with Brady Cook as your 4 going into camp. I mean, it's not the worst thing you can come up with. And again, I don't want to say like I'm all in on Kyler Murray, but like if we're not trading for a quarterback like a Joe Burrow, I truthfully think Kyler is the best person to fit my expectations for 2026, which is to be a 7 to 10 win team and compete for the playoffs. Like, I don't want to have the 3 to 5 win season again. We just got out of this, right? So like, that's where my expectations are. If the team's expectation is we're just going to see what happens, and if we're a 3 to 5 win team next year, oh well, like then we're not going to get a Kyler Murray. We're probably going to get, a bad player like I don't know, Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett.
Probably under contract, let's be honest.
He's starting for the Raiders this week.
He is. Revenge game. Why do people, Big Fella said it in his super chat, why do people keep bringing up the Eagles? Like, why is Joe Burrow all of a sudden going to the Eagles? Like, do the Eagles have a quarterback opening overnight that I completely missed?
People are speculating that they're going to move on from Hurts because he hasn't played well of late.
Did they listen to Sirianni after the game this week?
I mean, Philly fans are insane, by the way. They're
might be the dumbest.
Yeah, I mean, they have no idea how good they have it. They're 8-5, and they're acting like they haven't won a game in 20 years.
Yeah, and Chiefs fans to an extent too. What do they have, like 6 wins? Like, they're acting like it's the worst thing they've ever seen, and like hell needs to be burnt to the ground in Kansas City, Missouri. It's like you can't act like that after one down season. They're both having the Super Bowl hangover that the Eagles didn't have the year before.
More calls. Let's get to a bunch here. So let's get to Raven, who's next. Hello, Raven.
Hey, how are you?
What's up?
So first things first, I have a question for the chat. It's a little bit more specific. I need help determining my fantasy lineup, if that's okay. I think I know what I'm going to go with, but basically I'm not sure if whether or not I should start Mike Evans. I don't think so. When somebody comes back from injury, I always give them like a game or two. But like I'm in the playoffs, I'm supposed to lose by like a point or two. So I got Wan'Dale Robinson, Keenan Allen, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Obviously he's starting. Jaden Reed, Adonai Mitchell. And yeah, that's that. The other ones I'm definitely not starting. What you guys think?
Ooh, that's tough. You said Wan'Dale, Keenan, Mike Evans, Adonai.
Yeah, obviously Amon-Ra starting. Obviously Courtland Sutton's starting.
Oh, that's tough. I would want to say Mike Evans, but the fact that they came out with the report that even when he's going to play, but he's not going to play all the snaps.
I agree.
So that makes me so nervous.
I'm playing Evans, though. That's
the thing, though. Like, my philosophy is always start your stars, especially in the playoffs. Like, you drafted Mike Evans hoping to be in this position, right? Like in the playoffs with your superstar wide receiver. So that's why I say lean Evans, but Keenan Allen might not be a bad pick, right? He's the Chargers. So like Herbert, that's a tough one. I would stay away from Evans because they're playing on tonight. That's the only reason. Yeah. The short week makes me nervous.
Yeah, because like put it this way, like you have like your stars, like me, Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Browns defense, but then you need like your guys that'll like, all right, the chance that they completely go the F off is like basically non-zero, but like, they're going to give you like, all right, like I'm going to get my 10 points that I might need to put me over the edge. But anyways, thank you, everyone. Now to actual Jets stuff. So I'm going to say this and fully admit that I really don't pay a lot of attention to college football. I don't have a team, so I just kind of don't. So if I'm completely wrong with anything I'm saying here, like the chat can totally freaking roast me because I just kind of go off of like what I hear other people say and vibes. So just in college football. So I feel from what I've known, just like talking over the season, I feel like I've heard that this quarterback class is like relatively weak compared to the 2027 class. And if that still stands, I personally think that some fans are overinflating this quarterback class just because of how horrendous Justin Fields has played. And so, yes, like I understand the need, but I just feel like, all right, if you know going in that the next draft is probably going to be stronger, it's more prudent, in my opinion, to wait to get the quarterback that way. And then to your point, like maybe go with like a Jacoby Brissett. Kyler Murray, I'm good off of because listen, you bring that kid to New York, he's going to get distracted. I mean, the kid gets distracted by video games the same way my ADHD ass gets distracted by loud noises. Like, I'm good on that part. But now, if you could get Joe Burrow without selling the entire house, you know, all the draft picks, everything, it's a no-brainer. But if that's not the case, then, you know, I don't think you do, because you risk throwing off the rebuild plan, and then you risk getting into a mentality that actually Zach Rosenblatt and Connor Hughes pointed out in one of their podcast episodes of like the Jets from like 2022 on with that draft class kind of being like, oh, we don't know why it's not working. We have Sauce Gardner, we have Garrett Wilson, we have Jermaine Johnson, we have Quinn Williams, we have this, we have Breece Hall, we have that. And like being arrogant and inflating themselves to be so much better than they actually are. And, you know, it's kind of like the mentality of having a roster versus actually having a team. So, you know, if it works with the rebuild plan, fuck yeah, go for it. It's Joe
Well, there's no plan without a quarterback, Raven. Like we could, like you need a quarterback. Like,
and I'll say this about the rookie class, because you're saying, you know, music to Jake's ears by saying the 2027 class is better. There is the case to be made because of the unknown of it. Yes, it could be ultimately better. I will say Dane Brugler was on Rosenblatt's podcast, and he said that his top guy, as of right now, and things could change, is Fernando Mendoza, and he would have him higher than Cam Ward, who was the first quarterback last year, but lower than all three of May, Daniels, and Caleb Williams. So I guess take that for what you will in terms of like where it stacks up with other classes in the past, but it only helps the Jets the more quarterbacks that declare. If there's guys that are on the fence about declaring or going back to school and they go back to school, it hurts the Jets and the overall, you know, talent in the class. So it is just going to be something of like who declares for the draft. If there's 4 guys that declare that are deemed as like first top 40, let's say top 40, top 50 picks, that really helps the Jets. Where if it's Mendoza and then Simpson and Moore go back to school, like the Jets might be screwed and they get stuck with a guy like Garrett Nussmeier in the 3rd round or 4th round or whatever it is. And like, they're not happy about their positioning. So it is tough. I disagree about Kyler. I think he'll be all right in New York, but also I do just think a veteran over a rookie is the easiest path for the Jets right now.
100%. And to the point of what you said about going back to school, you know, I know there's a line between having a quarterback that's like, you know, kind of like milk the whole I could stay in college for as long as possible because of so many different ways that, like, yes, they're older, but I do think, you know, putting so much into a guy that's really only had like one strong year and now they're declaring for the draft is a mistake and short-sighted in my opinion, because like you need to have experience. I always go back to this thing Tom Brady said about college football, how like so many of these schools don't have a real program anymore that really develops talent. So I personally feel like if you have these guys that are already talented, and you know, talented enough to go in the first round even right now, but they're going back to another school, in my opinion, that would even reinforce the sentiment that, you know what, use this draft to maybe fill in the gaps you need at skill positions. Because that's a huge deal. As much as, yes, quarterback is the number one thing. 100% agree with you on that, Jake, that you need to have a quarterback to base your plan off of. But again, I don't think you should do it at the expense that you're overinflating a pick that might not be that guy when you have more of a chance of like really landing a bullseye in the second draft. But again, you know, I don't know that much about college football. And Dylan, based off what you're saying, there's obviously a lot of like intangibles that we don't even know yet because we're not even that close to the draft. So, you know, I'm interested to see how it shakes out.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, you don't want to force a quarterback selection, Raven, but like just connect the dots on the timeline for this regime. Like, they don't get the quarterback this year, and then they go 6 and whatever next season. they're not necessarily locked into a third year. And even if they do get that third year and they have to take the quarterback in 2027, well, then you're under the gun to win with a rookie quarterback that year. That's hard to do. Most rookies struggle, and they have, an up and down start to their career. So I feel like they have to get quarterback figured out this offseason, or at least provide some sort of plan where if they're not investing early in the first round, it's similar to what maybe the Saints did, for example, where they took Shuck in the second round, or maybe the Jets would take someone with one of their 2 seconds. So they at least have a young quarterback on the roster they could point to that allows them to play someone if the season goes up in smoke with the bridge, and then you go from there. But there's going to be some sort of young investment at quarterback they make early. It's just a matter of it being in round 1, or I think at the latest it'd be the second round.
Yeah, and I think it was Ian from Jet Central who had a really good video, and he said a quote about coaches and front offices don't lose their job for missing out on the quarterback class, but they get fired for getting the quarterback wrong in the class. So there's also that element of it too. It's like, do the Jets just want to force feed quarterback in the first round just to satiate the fan base and say, hey, we got a quarterback in the first round, when it's not really a fit, right? So I go back to when the Broncos were on the clock. If Bo Nix wasn't there, there's a chance they skip out on the quarterback class because of Sean Payton's love for Bo Nix specifically in that class. Like if he had to take Michael Penix in that spot, I don't think he's doing it, right? Because that's the quickest way to get Sean Payton fired. So there is the element of that. But ultimately, I think we all pretty much agree that at some point this offseason, they need to acquire a quarterback that's going to take them into 2026 and not just have a throw in the towel, give up season with their quarterback room.
Comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line. I'm getting caught up quickly on the super chats here, and then back to your calls. Hennessy says Kyler, and then draft playmakers, draft the QB in 27. Maybe. I really don't want to not get the quarterback this year.
You could draft the quarterback in 26 to just edit Heisman's. We'll just say draft the quarterback in 26. What if Ty Simpson falls to the Colts pick at 14, right? They lose out, they pick 14, and the Jets don't have to move any picks, and Ty Simpson as quarterback 3 falls to them at 14. Maybe, like I said, they have to obviously have a certain level of conviction and infatuation with Ty Simpson, but that's not the end of the world. And then you have Kyler Murray, Ty Simpson, Brady Cook, and then a UDFA probably competing with Cook. And then you could also entertain a veteran type option like Tyrod Taylor on a 1-year deal. So like you can make things shake and move like at the quarterback position pretty quickly.
Tank for Ty. The Burrow talk is straight up embarrassing. This is how a bad franchise is and how we are as fans, grasping at straws on trading 3 first-rounders for a QB made of glass and Burrow, says the guy whose name is Tank for Ty Simpson.
You know the old saying, when you point one finger at somebody, you have 3 pointing back at you. It's like, come on, man. You can't shit all over us for entertaining a Joe Burrow trade when you're in the comments telling us that Fernando Mendoza is never going to be good, that Dante Moore needs to go back to school for another half a decade, and that Ty Simpson is worth trading the farm for. So, like, come on, man. Make up your mind. Everybody's got their trutherism, though.
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that Lowski takes steroids. I need some of it. Hey, Charles! Who is that lovely lady? Sing it this way, Charles!
Hey, Jake. Hey, Dylan.
Hello,
Chazzy.
Before I get on, I just want to give a huge shout out to Johnny Boy. I hope he recovers in the hospital. I pray for him, his friends, his family. So let's hope, he does okay. As for the whole Joe Burrow rumors, that's not going to happen. It's not going to. It's not really going to happen. I know the Bengals are not a good organization. We know the Jets are not a good organization. I just don't see it happening. I don't think the Jets should really trade any of their first-round picks unless they know what the hell they're doing. I think they should build the offensive line. I think they should build their receiving corps. They should build the team through the draft and free agency. And as for who the quarterback they should take, it's either going to be Dante Moore or Mendoza. But I'm sure you're going to want to talk to me about Phillip Rivers coming out of retirement. That surprised the hell out of me. He's 44 and he's on the practice squad.
Are you enticed by the Colts' chances over the last 4 games to win games with Grandpa Rivers.
Grandpa Rivers. I heard he looks like Jabba the Hutt now. I heard he gained some weight, which is interesting.
He refused to answer the question about his weight, and he said, "quote I never had to run away from anybody anyway."
Well, he was a good quarterback for a long time. He did play well for the Colts in 2020 before he retired to spend time with his family.
You know what he was really doing?
I really don't give a shit. Honestly, I just want to watch good football now. As I said, the Joe Burrow thing seemed like a bunch of nonsense to me. It really does. But I have heard that what's the linebacker's name? Styles from Ohio State. People say he's a lot like David Harris. Sonny Styles, I think his name is.
Yeah, from Ohio State, yeah.
How do you like your eggs, Charles? Sunny side up?
I like mine scrambled.
I don't like eggs, so.
You're not the only person I met that doesn't like eggs. I know a chick that doesn't like eggs. So
you know what?
Because chicks are eggs.
I know a woman that doesn't like eggs. That's what I meant to say. My apologies.
A real life woman?
Yes, a real life woman that moved to Georgia a couple of years ago. I'm still friends with her on Instagram.
Real person?
Yes, her name is Stephanie. She's a real life person.
She a lovely lady?
Yeah, she's a lovely lady. On Michigan situation, oh, you mean where that idiot got caught being sexually inappropriate with one of his staff members? Honestly, deserve to get fired and arrested.
Charles, can I do my job here? Big fella has a comment. Can we get Charles' thoughts on the Michigan situation?
That's what I was talking about.
I know, but the audience doesn't know that. That's listening on the podcast. They just hear you blabbering about Michigan with no context.
He deserved to get fired and arrested. He's an idiot.
What if he got catfish, as Peter Castro says?
He got catfish. Who gives a shit? Anyway. That's all I got to say, Jake. I hope you have the rest of your day, and we'll talk soon.
Wait, before you go, Charles, can I show off the holiday present you sent me?
Sure, go ahead.
It arrived in the mail today, folks. I have my official Heath Ledger Joker t-shirt here from Gorman. And
oh, yeah.
Since Charles knows that I think the best Batman is Christian Bale's Batman, he sent me this. The Christian Bale Dark Knight Batman.
Charles, you're such a nice guy.
Well, Jake's been nice to me. I know Alan's going to be pissed at me, but honestly, I could care less.
Yeah, but here's the thing with Alan. He doesn't have your best interest in mind. Alan just wants to try and take shots at me. He doesn't actually care about you. So you're just a vehicle for him to take shots at me. Once you understand that, Charles, it all makes sense.
I'll keep that in mind. Anyways, hope you enjoy the gift, Jake. Have a good day, but we'll talk later.
What's on the agenda tonight, Charles? Anything exciting?
Well, I was going to call my folks, see how they were doing. I got my past inspection today at my apartment. They came and inspected my apartment. I came out clean. So we're good.
Were you nervous they were going to find something?
No, wasn't nervous at all. Have a good day.
Well, Charles, you have a great day. Farewell. You had a lot to say there, Dylan.
I love it. Charles is a great guy.
One of the greats. Speaking of people who aren't great, our next caller is...
Warning! Warning! Allen alert! Shit's about to get ugly, folks. Warning! Allen alert! Hide the children!
2 comments. First of all, for the Michigan thing,
what
if you're gonna... What?
You don't have heat in your home?
No, I'm freezing here. Sorry.
Why are you dressed like you're like a
I just got home and I'm cold, so I don't really care. But here it is. If you're gonna cheat on your wife, why do you go through Uber Eats to get Plan B? Explain that to me.
I don't think that was real. That, by the way, I think you got
that was real.
Tweet. I don't think that was real.
It was.
I don't think that was real. I saw a lot of fake tweets like that one exactly on what happened with this Michigan thing.
Yeah, stupid.
I don't think that was true.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, Dylan.
Okay, facts don't matter, but continue.
I like half your takes until I heard one today. You would trade 2 1s and a 2 for Jalen Hurts now.
Yeah.
You might be the only one who would ever do that right now.
That's fine. You know who would hang up the phone first? The Eagles. They'd ask.
No,
for
they
more.
would not. They would trade him in 2 seconds.
For what? What? Where is their quarterback coming from?
They can find. You know what? They can find another quarterback. He sucks. He is awful this year. Awful.
This year, yeah, but they just won the Super Bowl.
They would make that trade in 2 seconds.
I don't think they would.
2 ones and a 2 for Jalen. Where is Jalen Hurts as far as quarterbacks in this league right now?
Top half.
So he's like the 15th best quarterback. And you want 2
I don't know.
ones
I don't know
and
if
a
I
2?
would put it at 15, but he's in a range
You're
of like
trading
11.
2 ones and a 2 for Jalen Hurts.
Yes, that's the quarterback
Wow.
market, Alan. Like
Wow.
if you want a starter,
Howie Roseman would have a field day with you.
No, he would tell me he wants more.
The wide receivers in that room right now, they would take Tanner McKee over Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, they would
2
also fire
seconds.
Kevin Patullo as well.
In 2 seconds. Jalen Hurts is awful. He's awful this year.
That's
He's
fine.
awful.
This year. That's
They
fine.
would trade him in 2 seconds.
Not for that
And
price. They would
trade
hang
him
up
in
on
that
you.
$51 million a year contract. He is not that good anymore. He is on the backside of his career. He's just not that good. I thought it would maybe be a second to trade for Jalen Hurts. 2 ones and a 2? No chance I'm making that trade. No,
I'm not
way.
saying I would. I'm not saying you have to, but I don't think that they would immediately accept that trade. Where is their path to getting a quarterback? And please don't say Tanner McKee.
They can find anybody than this guy. He's not that good.
How? Where
Hold
are they
on.
finding him?
They would
Where are
find
they finding
anybody. I have more confidence in them finding a quarterback than we will. I am not trading 2
That's not the
ones and a
point.
2
That's not the
for
point.
Jalen Hurts. I'm not.
That's
I don't know why you
fine.
would
That's
do that.
completely fine because
Okay.
that's what the going rate is for a quarterback that starts in this league.
Not a bad quarterback. And another thing, you want Kyler Murray to come to New York?
If he's released by the Cardinals, he is probably the best option of the free agents available. Yes.
Kyler Murray in New York would be such a disaster. And I live.
Everybody's a
15 minutes.
disaster, Alan. Every quarter, not saying
I
to
don't
you.
think every
No,
quarterback.
I'm not
He
saying
is a
about you. I'm not
disaster.
saying about you.
He's
Every
not that
single
good
quarterback
anymore.
you invoke, every name that you would invoke at the quarterback position, regardless if it's Patrick Mahomes or
It's not true.
Justin Fields,
Kyler
there is
Murray
somebody
in
who's
New
going to
York
tell you that
would
the
be
idea is
awful.
trash. Nobody's going to
Why would you want
agree 100%
Kyler
on
Murray?
quarterback.
Seriously?
If he is cut, yes, and you are given assets in the draft to take on the
You're going
contract.
to take his. Hold on. If you're given a second round pick and you have to take on $50 million,
The money means less than most of
so
the entire
if they
equation.
gave you Kyler Murray and they gave you a second round pick, you would take that deal.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Just curious.
Wait, so I'm
Jake,
getting
would you
a
take that
second?
deal?
Yeah,
I'm
you're getting a second round pick and Kyler Murray.
But
You're
I have to
taking
take
his-
on his contract.
Yes.
Yeah,
$50
how many-
million bucks.
How many years is left on it?
3.
2 years left, 50 each.
2 years
28,
left.
28 is a void year. 28 is a void year. Yeah.
28 is a void year.
Yes.
I mean, they have so much cap space.
Yes,
You're
that's the
basically
point.
Just, you're basically just you're buying a second.
What did
round
you
pick.
say about Goff when he was traded to the Lions?
I thought it was a great trade for both teams because it allowed both teams to turn the page. I
Okay,
understand why.
and what would that do for the Jets? It would allow them.
You're going to compare Jared Goff to Kyler Murray.
I don't think I would do it, Dylan, because I already have a boatload of picks, so I'd rather just keep the cap space freed up and not have to take.
That's fine.
Kyler
No, that's
Murray's
fine.
job.
Jake,
The
you
cap
would trade
space means
2
less.
ones and a 2 for Jalen Hurts right now?
No, I would not.
Okay. I appreciate it,
That's
guys. Thank you
completely
very
fine.
much.
I don't appreciate you, but you called it anyway, Alan. So thank you.
Yeah, I tell me the quarterback that we're getting. Like I don't like. That's the thing. I don't care to watch a 3 or 4 win season. So
Murray only interests me, Dylan, if he's a free agent and I'm getting him for the veterans minimum because he got released by Arizona.
well, you're not gonna. There's gonna be too much competition that you're not gonna get him on the vet minimum. You're gonna have
Like
to
close
pay.
to it, like our low
I think it's
amount.
the run it back contract. It's 2 for 40.
2 for 40.
Dude, it's the quarterback market, man.
I
Justin Fields was the lowest paid starting quarterback last year. Kyler Murray is head and shoulders, and it's
Daniel
kind of a
Jones
short
was making
joke.
less than Fields.
14 million. I'm saying the guarantees and everything, the total of but he wasn't the starter when he was signed. That's the point. He wasn't the starter.
He was
when
competing
signed.
for a starting job, though,
Right,
which
but he
is what
wasn't-
Kyler would be too.
No, he would be the outright starter. In my philosophy, Kyler Murray is the outright starter in 2026 with the rookie behind him sitting as
Who's the
many
rookie
games
behind
as
him, though?
possible. Any of them, Mendoza, Moore, Simpson, wherever you pick.
I wouldn't give Murray any starting job. I'd make him have to win a competition with Mendoza or Moore, whoever.
That's fine, but I don't want the quarterback that we draft playing week 1 or week 8 or week 14.
What if he's just outright the best?
Yes,
option?
that is if he is undeniably the option, yes. But because the quarterback or the coach and front office are not on the hot seat like Brian Dable, you don't have to pull the plug after 3 games of Russell Wilson like they did and still get fired. You know what I mean? Like they don't have to pull the cord on Kyler Murray. You give him money. Like I said, if he's a free agent, you get him on a front-loaded 2026 contract with the option for 2027. He starts most, if not all, of 2026. Maybe you give the quarterback the final game of the season, Patrick Mahomes style, and then you see what happens going into 27. Do you take the option on Murray, or do you feel good enough about the rookie to start him in 27? I'm not starting Mendoza week 1.
I'd prefer not to either,
Right.
depending on who the veterans are in front of them. Right. AJ says, you said why are we talking about unrealistic things when I bring up trading for Shedeur Sanders, but then spend a whole show on Burrow? We suck. He would never. Again, we talk about Burrow because you have credible people connecting him to the Jets. That's why we talked about him. Shedeur Sanders to the Jets is not a thing. It's something that you've talked about, but there's nothing connecting Shedeur to the Jets. And also, like Burrow to the Jets would actually be like a true needle mover. Whereas Shedeur Sanders to the Jets, like, what does that do? Like,
You still need a quarterback in the top 10.
Like, you haven't solved your quarterback issue definitively if you acquired Shedeur. If you acquired Burrow, you have your guy for a decade in theory. That's the difference. Bino in our raffle for 2. If Murray is a free agent, Minnesota would snap him up. JJ is a poop. O'Connell. Oh, she's talking about JJ McCarthy, not JJ, the guy that just super chatted. O'Connell needs a veteran QB. He'd prefer those weapons to New York, in my opinion. Kyler in Minnesota actually would make a little bit of sense. Kyler in Pittsburgh would make some sense.
Yeah, but does Kevin O'Connell actually get to make those picks? Like, is he granted another year because he took JJ McCarthy and he's so bad? Like a lot of coaching staffs don't survive that type of move. So we'll see what happens with that. But I don't know if they're necessarily chomping at the bit to admit their mistake on JJ McCarthy.
More of your calls, ladies and gentlemen. The great Gator McCluskey is on the line. Hello, Gator.
Nice. I get to follow up Kenny from South Park. By the way, Michael Keaton is the best Batman. I do love Christian Bale, but Michael Keaton is the GOAT. Sorry. I know you're not going to agree because you're a young man and you didn't grow up on the cooler stuff like I did. I'm a no on Joe, and let me explain why. The trauma that we went through with Aaron Rodgers really set me back as a fan of this game and of this team. And I'm afraid, knowing the Jets, that if we went all in on a guy like Burrow and we gave up all his draft picks, what's going to happen in preseason? He's going to have a Zach Ertz and he's going to blow up. You're going to watch his leg do this, right? You know what's going to happen. And then where do we stand? We're another year of being absolute dog shit. I would rather stockpile players, draft 2 quarterbacks this year, bring in a quality vet, trade for a solid option there, be prepared to take another quarterback next year. I just think it's too important a position to put everything into one. Could it be great? Yeah. But if we're not that organization, we're not an organization that can recover from losing, putting an all in on a player like that. We have too many holes, and I'm just afraid that if we don't take advantage of all these draft picks and just stockpile players, we're never going to get to that 9-7. Best case scenario, we bring in Burrow, we're able to fill in a couple of holes around him. We win a Super Bowl, right? But again, Zach Ertz. I just see it happening, and I just can't go through that trauma for what we've been through as fans. I can't go through that again. That Rodgers thing was just, it was too much, man. We all thought we were going to win a Super Bowl that year. Who didn't think that the Jets weren't going to win a Super Bowl that year?
Mm-hmm. Especially when Brees ran that 18-yard run to the left-hand side in MetLife Stadium. Everybody's screaming. Jake probably had already lost his voice at that time. And every Jets fan would be telling you a lie if they didn't think after that very first play of the season that the Jets actually had something.
Yeah, man, it's trauma. It's trauma that I hope I get over in my lifetime. I hope you guys get over it in your lifetime. But the last 2 years, 3 years have just been too much. And I need the safe pick. I need to go down a safer road of stockpiling as much talent as we can and doubling up on the quarterback, tripling up on the quarterback position. Look at us right now. We've literally got nobody to put out there to throw a ball. If we had to win a game right now to make the playoffs, we've got nothing. You know, look at the Colts. They have nothing. They're a complete disaster. It's the teams that have that guy that you can plug in behind your main quarterback so that, you know what, whoever it be can miss a few games. I mean, we even said it when we got Rodgers. We have to be able to expect that he's going to miss a few games, and who's going to be able to fill that in. We'll never get to that 9-7. We'll never get to 9-8, 10-7, whatever. We'll never get that elevation. We're not going to be a Super Bowl contender overnight. We got to get there. And to me, Burrow, we're just not ready for him. We're gonna screw that up, and we're all gonna be heartbroken because we're Jets. Go Jets!
I love it.
Gator, I love it. But if I can get Joe Burrow, I'm doing it. I'm not going to let my trauma. Like Aaron Rodgers was great, and it was the right move. It didn't work, and it failed in spectacular fashion and the ways that only being a Jet fan could go with him getting hurt. But Joe Burrow's 28 years old.
I would cut open all of my Aaron Rodgers scars for Joe Burrow.
Yeah, like I'm taking the chance, man. Like it's Joe Burrow.
I'm ready to be hurt again.
Yeah,
there's certain quarterbacks that you're ready to be hurt again with, and I feel like Joe Burrow might be one of them.
It's Joe Burrow. Like again, I think it's a pipe dream because I don't think he'd want to come here. I think he'd want to go somewhere else. But again, like he's unbelievable. Like again, people look at his numbers. Like the last year, the guy threw 43 touchdowns and had 9 picks. His team missed the playoffs because they had the worst defense ever put together. They still won 9 games. Like
also, you're throwing 652 attempts, 606 attempts, like even 520 attempts. Like that is so many throws that are unnecessary because they still didn't really have a run game around him too. Like
no,
I couldn't imagine, Joe Burrow in a lot of different situations. Like you actually feel really good about his chances of leading a team to the Super Bowl. So like I said, he's probably top 5, top 6 in the sport when he's fully healthy, and he's worth taking the gamble on, in my opinion.
Make sure you enter the raffle for the signed Namath ball if you haven't. Home stretch of our show now. JJ says, how we fix the Jets. We draft Dante Moore. We sign Gardner Minshew. Let them compete for the job like Seattle with Wilson. Heisman quarterbacks mostly suck. Moore over Mendoza. So I don't know if you caught JJ's call with me yesterday, Dylan, but it was just complete asinine nonsense from JJ where he wouldn't take Mendoza even if he thought he was the better quarterback. Because if Mendoza wins the Heisman, which he will next week, Heisman quarterbacks don't have a lot of success in the NFL. And then when I brought up to him, hey, just first-round picks in general, there's like a 50% bust rate. Having a Heisman trophy on your resume, there's no direct correlation whether or not you're successful or not. Like Burrow won a Heisman. Jaden Daniels won a Heisman. Like Cam Newton won a Heisman.
Yeah.
There's plenty of guys that sucked in the NFL. Manziel, Tebow won Heismans. There's no correlation. Like Zach Wilson didn't win a Heisman. He just sucked. But JJ's philosophy is take Dante Moore over Mendoza because Moore is not going to win a Heisman. So you can't take Mendoza because he's going to win the Heisman. That to me makes no sense. But if the Jets ended up with Dante Moore, I wouldn't be that upset. I just need them to come away with a quarterback in round 1.
Sure. Yeah. And to the point about the Heisman, I do think it's a college award, first and foremost. It does not mean he's on pace to win MVPs in the NFL. College and NFL are just so different. Like Diego Pavia, he's a finalist for the Heisman, and I understand there's a Pavia hive out there for the Vanderbilt quarterback, but like he's probably a day 3 guy at best, and he's an older prospect. So it's like, I don't know. I don't think it correlates, and at the end of the day, it's a total crapshoot, and all that matters is the environment and the support system that they are entering. It does not matter what their stats were in college. It does not matter what their accolades were throughout their collegiate career. It does not matter what they did down in Mobile at the Senior Bowl. It really doesn't matter. It matters what the team does and puts around that quarterback and able to let them succeed. We've seen a quarterback be really bad to start their career, and then they turn it on late, right? The Sam Darnolds of the world. Or they have a big boom like a CJ Stroud in that first year or Jaden Daniels in that first year, and then they slowly start falling off. So, like, anything can happen. It's all about the environment and the support system.
Yeah, JJ, when he writes in, you're proving my point. Heisman quarterbacks mostly suck. You're just wrong, JJ. Shut up and admit you don't know what the fuck, excuse my language, you're talking about. I'm tired of it, dude. You come on here, you spout nonsense, right? Heisman Trophy winners mostly suck. First-round quarterbacks have a 50% bust rate. So if we do Heisman Trophy winners by the same mark, you'll find guys like Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Bryce Young, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, Manziel, Robert Griffin, Cam Newton, Sam Bradford, Tim Tebow, Troy Smith, Matt Leinart, Carson Palmer. That is every quarterback that won a Heisman since 2000. Probably about half those names were busts, half of them were successful, which is basically the same thing as any first-round quarterback. Again, Heisman, whether they have it or not, has no impact whether or not you're a good NFL quarterback. One has nothing to do with the other. Stop making the point and thinking you're right when you're not. Objectively, we just went through it. You're wrong. God.
Oh, boy.
Rick Kent, thank you for giving me something to play because I need a break. He's in the raffle for 5. Let's see. Humble Beast. What about Deshaun Watson? No, thank you. He's torn his Achilles twice. I'm good. And the Browns aren't even going to cut him because of his dead cap situation being enormous. They're stuck with him.
Oh yeah, they're going to carry him next year, and I'll be honest. I wanted Deshaun Watson very, very badly till the day that those allegations came out, and I don't care to have that in New York. Like, I don't really mind, I don't really try to get into the off the field issues with some of these players because at the end of the day, the football and the result is really what matters. But something like that, man, you really just can't get over. And from day one, that would be a circus in New York.
Rick Kent, in his presser, Burrow said he wants to have fun playing football. I don't recall anyone ever saying playing for the Jets is fun. Yeah, Rodgers tried. He literally embraced it. And it was so much fun until September 11th, 2023, about 15 minutes after he ran onto the field with the flag. It was all fun the entire time he was a Jet till then.
Yeah. No, and like I said, there is definitely an element of players wanting to come to the Jets and turning it around. Like that actually means something, and that it'll go a lot further. And there's a certain, level of competitor that sees the good in the New York Jets. And obviously it takes a lot, right? I'm not advocating that this is a very attractive destination, but there is a world that we live in. Like, people, like the definitive nature of a lot of these comments based on off-season plans, draft plans. Like, it's crazy. Like, if I had a crystal ball as clear as half the people in the chats, it'd be nuts. But we just don't know until these things actually happen. Until Joe Burrow comes out and says, I'm not going to the Jets, stop asking, or I'm going to a different team. Like, we have to talk about it. It's definitely on the table.
Joe Douglas should have been fired 2 days before he was hired.
You're muted, Gare.
I like that intro. That's a good intro. I got a lot to get into. First, Neil had me. He $30 prime rib for 2, and then he said it was from Mick Riley's Irish. I'm not eating anything Irish. I'm out. He had me. Ooh, $30 for prime rib for 2. I'm all in on that. It's like Mick O'Reilly, Patty O'Donovan. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not touching that.
The Braves are back, Gary. Hey now.
Oh shit.
And Adrian Gonzalez picking up the quarterback for us. Hey, Adrian Gonzalez, former Mets legend, might be our best option at quarterback. So shout out to Neil on that one. Adrian Gonzalez.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So first, I want to agree with you on Kyler Murray. I'm not interested in going 4-13 again. So I'd be interested in him under 2 circumstances. The one that Jake gave, where he gets cut and we can get him for minimum money. If it's 2, what did you say? 2 for 40?
I said 2 for 40. The run it back contract with Justin Fields, except you front load it in case he sucks in 2026. You get out of it without the dead cap hurting you in 2027.
I'm with you. And either one of those situations, I don't understand why Kyler Murray, who is absolutely better than Justin Fields, all of a sudden that's no good. And this thing, he plays video games. So what? What would you rather have him doing? Out at strip clubs doing coke, banging hookers? Like, he plays video. He's got to do something with his downtime. If he's playing video games till 2 a.m, who cares? Like, there's so much worse he could be doing. I don't want to hear this video game thing again. Like, that's the least of my concerns.
Yeah, I don't care about the video games either.
Then Rod Smart, you said you never heard of He Hate Me. There's a running back. He played for the Panthers and the Eagles. Made me feel old. His name was Rod Smart.
I forgot what his name was, but I know he played briefly in the NFL.
You were probably 5 years old, Dylan. This is like 2000. I was a senior in high school. This is 2000 or 2001.
Yeah, I was 5 or 6.
Was 01.
Yeah.
01. See? Yeah. Oh, yeah, Allen. He says he's freezing. It's 67. That's my boy. And I'm not trying to throw shade at him. It's 67 degrees outside. And he says he's freezing. It's 67. I don't like
he located in a warm climate state? Like
he's a half hour from me. He's in Plano.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I'm in South Carolina and it was like 30 degrees and I'm wearing shorts to work today.
No, if Allen sticks his head outside, it's literally 60. Like, you can't, 67 degrees is pretty nice. Like, I don't go outside if it's less than 55. 67 is kind of nice even for me.
Wait, you don't go outside if it's less than 55?
I try not to go out if it's less than 60. 55 is my absolute drop dead point. If it's like 55 or 54, oh hell no, I ain't going outside. No, it's not even for the birds. The birds go south in that. I'm not.
Damn, dude, I've played golf in 44-degree weather before. That's crazy.
That fun though. Like, it's
so much fun, dude. You're out there, you got the cold wind, you're not sweating at all. You get to walk the course and you don't like break a sweat. Oh, it's a lot of fun.
Hey, Gary, do you think that Beast is right that his farts have better brains than Allen?
No, I think Allen. Not only I think Allen is a great guy. I think he's pretty smart too. I think he's a smart guy.
What do you think about this comment from Beast?
I'm not even gonna.
He can't even hold his jaw, Gary.
Yeah, not in his league. In what? Right? Like not maybe bowling. He might be a better bowler than me.
You can't do, Buster.
Let's
run tail of the tape. New York, I felt the freezing cold wind. Jersey, the same thing, Pally. I felt the freezing winds and the cold wind. You, 55 degrees, that's dust. That's dust. That's dust to me. What are you, some kind of a yeller? What are you, yellow belly all of a sudden?
Going outside if it's cold.
Cowboy.
No.
Come on, Cowboy.
Nope.
Round up.
Yeah, Cowboys, the Texans. If it was 55 degrees, they're going inside too. Because this is not even for the birds. The birds have more knowledge than to stay up in the cold. Like, I'm out of here. I am not staying in the cold.
In the words of the great Eddie Murphy, I'm about to say this. What are they? What you got? Dreadlocks? You got shit locks. Take that bastard out of your head, boy. Get out of here. You're not even the same.
You have a mohawk and you can't grow facial hair.
LOD has the same thing. Did you watch ECW?
What do you have? How low is your testosterone level that you can't grow facial hair at 40 years old?
When it comes to life, you cannot lace my boots. You couldn't carry my bags or even touch my jockstrap. You are weak, simple-minded, ridiculous, ass backwards, and you cannot do it. And let me just tell you why you can't do it. You are not hard enough. You're soft. Oh.
Okay.
You're soft. You're soft.
I don't even. Okay, I'm soft.
You're soft.
You literally cry when anyone makes fun of you. Like you have no room to call anyone soft. I've never seen a grown man cry as much as you. Like,
dude. I've been more than you've ever done in your pansy little life.
You can't grow facial hair.
You have
double D's. Like there's something seriously wrong with you. There is something insanely wrong with you, and I want to help you, but you need to listen. And you need to stop eating whatever you're eating. The first thing you need to do is stop eating that immediately. If you have a plant and the plant kept shriveling up and dying, you would stop feeding it whatever you're feeding it, right? Like that's your first thing. You need to stop eating whatever you're eating.
Basketball,
I think you're on mute. Go ahead.
1 by 1, and I would knock you out with one.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. Okay.
Because I can't.
You can't leave the basement. You can barely get out of bed. Now you're a tough guy. The internet is an extraordinary place.
Look at these veins here, Gary. Look at the veins.
Look
at those gun control veins.
The internet is extraordinary. He's going to knock anyone out.
Have gun control.
That is extraordinary.
You don't know nothing because. That is extraordinary. That dementia that Brigitte told me about, that dementia has gone straight to your head because that heat in Texas, that shit will go straight to your head. Holy shit, look at that beard. He has a beard, he's the man. Ain't no Santa Claus. Papa Jet loves the Jets. He's one handsome son of a bitch. He's Papa Jet.
All right, back to your regularly scheduled programming. Papa Jet is next. Hello, Papa.
Jake, don't do that. Don't cut in with me when Beast and Gary are going at it.
I thought you would get the show back on track. I was giving the people what they wanted. They want some Papa Jet.
I don't think so. I think the chat likes those rumbles. But anyways, hey DT, I'm with you. I guess I'm stupid with you because I like Murray, and I mentioned that a couple days ago in the chat, and I got raked over the coals too by a couple guys.
Yeah, there's no name that's going to make everybody happy in this world, so I'm not going to back down from the path that I believe is going to help the Jets the most. And if somebody disagrees with me, that's completely fine. If they want to bring up a name and I disagree with it, I'll let them know. But like my whole point is I want to see the Jets try to be competitive towards, even the 7th seed in the AFC means a whole lot to me than trying to just go through the motions with some D tier quarterback.
And you know what? I mean, I'm not saying Murray and that's it. I'm saying Murray, I would still get a quarterback this year. Even if you don't get the Mendoza or more, I'll still take a flyer on Sellers or Klubnik.
Yep.
Nutmiser, all those guys.
Nutmiser. He's Mr. Nutmiser.
He's Nutmiser because I can't pronounce the other way.
Yeah.
Nutsmeyer. Okay. And then I might even be drafting one next year too, depending on how stuff goes, Yeah, Murray's just like a year or two fill-in, And as far as Mendoza, that game against Ohio State, some guys in the Discord were not complaining, but they said, he didn't have 300-400 yards in that, What do you have, like 190, maybe 200? But it was the game. It's a championship game.
It's the best defense in the country with 4 guys in Dane Brugler's top 20 on his big board.
And he was in a dogfight. And you know what? Their running game was working. So why would you, if it's working, you keep running until they stop it. And when he did have to make throws, he made them. Those 2 throws he made were pinpoint, But what impressed me the most, it seemed like I think his pocket awareness was good. But I didn't see him. He was calm under pressure. He just looked, I don't know. He had a good game. But
he has a ton of poise. He took a shot too in the first play of the game. And then he came back and he was very composed throughout the rest of the game.
And you know what? I think his goofiness, I don't know. I kind of like it. It's a little different, Maybe that's what New York needs,
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, I could care less about like whatever religion people like want to worship or whatever. But I listened to an hour-long podcast of Justin Fields only talking about God and all his answers, and I really couldn't stand it. So I don't know if I would love that from Mendoza. But then again, I don't need to listen to all his press conferences, right? Like, I don't. If he wants to worship God and thank God in his press conferences, that's all well and good. But yeah, he is a little goofy. I'll say that.
Yeah, but but we'll see what. Let's watch the rest of the playoffs and let's see what happens,
Yeah.
And Notre Dame, I'm a Notre Dame fan. I guess it's going to come across like I'm whining, but just my opinion, I think they should have made it. They did lose their first 2 games, but they ran the table, and their 2 losses were against ranked teams by a combination of 4 points. So I think they should be in it. And I think Love, do you guys think he has a chance for the Heisman or no?
I don't think he's going to win it.
I don't think he's going to win it. He'll probably end up second in the voting, in my opinion. I think it'll be Pavia third, and then who's the other guy? I'm blanking on the 4th candidate. Sayin might end up third, actually. I think Love would end up second. He's just having a phenomenal year.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he really is.
He's a top 10 pick in the draft.
Yeah, he's the closest thing to probably like generational. If we want to use that cliche label, he's probably the closest thing in this draft to a generational talent. I'm glad you said you're a Notre Dame fan because I have Notre Dame Joe Montana as a figurine on my Christmas tree.
I think Joe Theismann went there too.
Yeah.
But a couple more things, Jake. On Sean last night. I don't know if he's in the chat, but I've been praying for him actually because last night that was that was off the wall trippy stuff there, man.
Uh-oh,
I think it's more than alcohol going on, So I'm going to pray for him.
He's mixing. Uh-oh.
Either that or he's just, yeah, we all know there's something going on. And I think when you battle it with alcohol, it don't go good.
No.
And then, Jake, how do I look, man? Can you see it?
Oh, love the shirt, Pop. I just noticed. That's awesome.
Well, I'll do that.
Oh, it's a hoodie. Love it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Comfortable as hell, too. Really comfortable. So
there we go.
But that's all I got, guys. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, Papa
If it was
Jet.
in your face, you wouldn't say shit.
3 minutes of shoving a football on a toilet was more entertaining than 10 minutes of whining.
Because you want to make me look like a sideshow freak. And you guys want to, like, thrash me.
1987's calling for their glasses back.
You're a clown, bro. You're a clown.
You just made me $2. Nate says, thanks for the Sean.
I know. You're making me seem like I'm a sideshow clown, and I'm not.
Do that on your own. I just answer your calls.
You're the ringleader.
Well, it's called the Jake Asman Show. So, yes, by the nature of the title, I am the host of the show.
If you want to talk to me one-on-one, I'll meet you on the boat.
I really don't want to talk to you one-on-one. I think the platform we have here is more than adequate. A little sample of yesterday's madness with Sean. I have a full recap video that will be posted as a members-only video in just a little while. So be on the lookout for that. Hey, 5 gifted memberships just now from David T. Thank you, David T., who's in the raffle for 5. Jeffrey's in not one, but twice by gifting 2 channel memberships. JJ says, since 2019 Heisman quarterbacks, only 6 legit good, 31%. JJ says, since 2000, bus rate for Heisman QBs higher than 50. I'm not going through the numbers. I don't know which ones you specifically told me were bust, but I just rattled off a bunch of Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks, and there were a decent chunk of them that sucked, and there were a decent chunk of them that were pretty good. Sounds like most first-round picks in the NFL. Some of them are pretty good. Some of them suck. It is a crapshoot. That is what we always talk about when it comes to drafting a quarterback. But I'm not going to not take Fernando Mendoza over Dante Moore because history says Heisman Trophy winners are less likely to be successful in the league. That's just not true. There are plenty of quarterbacks in the league right now that won Heismans that were ultra successful. So it's a dumb statement. Again, JJ, you just refuse to ever admit you were wrong.
I just don't think there's any correlation to the argument. Like, yeah, the numbers can say what they say, but I don't think there's any correlation. It all depends, like I said, on what the team does around that player when they enter the league. Like, a lot of these guys were on college teams that were really freaking good. So it's just hard to say.
More calls, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? On the Gusbuster Umbrella hotline right now is a man who needs no introduction.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good. Hi, Jake.
Hey, Lane.
Yeah, I haven't called in a while. So how do you feel about this whole Jets season?
That's how I feel.
Good?
Not good. Smelly.
Yeah. So anyway, who do the Jets draft? Do they draft Kylie Murray or do they draft Mendoza?
Is Carly Murray a woman?
No, Kylie Murray. Not
Kylie Murray.
I hope they don't draft her.
Not Kylie. No, I mean, what's it? No,
Kylie?
Murray. Yeah.
Isn't she dating Timothy Chalamet?
I think she is.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, everything about like, I'm talking about like Mendoza and stuff. I don't know if they're gonna get him. Yeah, Maxie. Yeah, Mom, I'm talking to Jake on the phone now. Who's Jake? No, Jake Asman. So.
Oh, hi, Jake.
Hi. She says hi.
Hi, Mrs. Lane Train.
Yeah. I mean, so I mean, do you keep Madison for next year?
Amanda Madison?
I wasn't gonna
No,
go there, but Jake did.
No, Brendan.
We're unsure if we want to keep her on the books for next season.
I have mixed feelings about her, Lane.
So yeah, I mean, like honestly, I don't know who they'll draft, going into next year because Kylie. Look, I mean,
Look, if Carly Murray was interested in playing for the Jets, it'd be the first woman to ever play for an NFL team. That'd be interesting.
Anyway, do you like the Jets' black uniforms or not?
Not the ones they were this most recent week.
They certainly didn't perform well in them.
Yeah, I know they lost. Yeah, I watched it last week also on Sunday. They played Sunday.
Oh yeah. Missed it.
Yeah, they did not do good.
Maybe it's a good thing I didn't watch then.
You know, it happens.
What's for dinner tonight, Lane?
Oh, I'm gonna I'll put some sweet potato fries and burgers. Do you like your burger well done or do you like it rare?
I like it medium rare.
Medium is for me, yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny what Garrett was going against Beastbreaker, like arguing.
Yeah, Gary and Beast, they have quite the rivalry, those two.
And I like the butter and chicken with the chicken dancing, like Gary singing the butter song.
It's a great song.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know why Bobby Midnight's brother hasn't been on in a while.
He's a very busy guy.
Yeah, I know. Probably, yeah, I mean, the Addy Show has reached 54 now of the episodes.
Wow. It's a great program.
Hell yeah.
Well, that's why everybody is, joining and stuff. That's why. I know Carly joined one time though, but I think she's been busy with the other stuff.
Carly Murray?
No, Carly. The other one that usually comes
quarterback?
on? Yeah, I mean, dude. Okay. Anyway, so do the Jets get Cam Newton, or he's not going to go anywhere?
I think Cam Newton is fine where he is right now, sitting on the couch watching the Jake Asman show.
His 4th and 1 podcast is probably taking precedent over learning a playbook.
Did you hear about the news that the football player was shot by somebody, the Jets player? Yeah, that's terrible.
Chris Boyd. Yeah, it's awful. Mm-hmm.
I saw it in the paper. You don't do that to the Jets player.
Yeah, really sad.
Yeah, Giants player, on the other hand, let it rip. Kidding.
Yeah, I mean, it's week 15 of the Giants already, So, I mean, we'll see what happens because the Jets are eliminated. So,
Well, Lane, you have a great dinner, all right? Enjoy your burger.
Okay, thank you. I know you have other calls. Okay, thank you.
Bye, Lane.
Bye. Sorry, everybody. See you next call when we talk about sports again.
Dylan, I'm going to regret this next call, but we're left with no choice.
Here comes JJ. He's here to talk about the Jets. He's putting Justin Fields in the Football Hall of Fame. Here comes JJ. You know he's Gary's biggest fan. Beast loves cornrows and the crappy Wi-Fi. Here comes JJ. He loves the sound of his voice. Here comes JJ. Most of these calls end bad, so let's get it over with.
Mr. Dylan, who do you like more? How you doing? Who do you like more, Dante Moore or Mendoza? Who do you think is going to be the better NFL player long term?
Oof, it's a tough question. Who's the better quarterback long term? I would say right now they're my 1A, 1B, right? Like there's a lot to be, evaluated still over the college football playoffs. I mean, I think you would assume Oregon and Dante Moore are going to walk all over JMU. And then they have a really tough task against, I believe, Texas Tech is their side of the bracket. So that's going to be a tough test. And then Mendoza obviously has the bye. So then you have So then you have Simpson versus Batir in Alabama, Oklahoma. Then they face Mendoza. So there's a lot left on the bone as far as like what these quarterbacks are ultimately going to be. Mendoza right now is my 1A. Moore is my 1B, and he's getting closer to overtaking Mendoza as I go through more film on these guys. But in terms of long-term starters. Again, it's really just hard to say because it's all about the environment and the support system put around these guys. But it wouldn't surprise me if either of these guys had a really good career, right? If the Rams traded up with the Falcons pick and their pick in the first round all the way up to 1 and they took Mendoza in Sean McVay's system, absolutely, I could see that thriving. Dante Moore, if he ended up in like Las Vegas, yeah, they have a couple good pieces in JT and Brock Bowers, but is that necessarily the best situation for him to go to and have success? So it's really hard to tell right now who's going to be better. But if I was Darren Muji, I would hope that both of them and Moore come out so that I have an opportunity to find my guy. And hopefully whoever they take is the guy.
So I disagree with you. I think that clearly Dante Moore is better because he's playing with lesser what do you call the word? The quality of players that he has are less than what Mendoza has. And I think we see this time and time again where like even with a Justin Fields or guys like that who play on these teams that have NFL players all throughout the team and they do really well in college and then they get into the NFL and they're not as dominant. It's the same reason why, I don't want Ty Simpson because quarterbacks out of Alabama typically don't do well. And that's because Alabama recruits really well and has really good talent on there and they just destroy every team. They don't face as much adversity. So I think Dante Moore.
Can I pause you for a second about your statement on Oregon versus Indiana? Oregon is a top 5 recruiting program right now in 2025. And Indiana is, as far as I'm looking, they're 49th.
Yeah, what I said was the talent on the field is better at Indiana than it is at Oregon. How many players
it's not. Oregon was the number one team last year. They have so much holdover talent. They're both very talented programs.
True question. Who do you think will have
more players drafted? I guess it would depend. Like if Dante Moore comes out, it's hard to say who would have more. Indiana is going to have a lot of players drafted, but so is Oregon.
Yeah, Indiana will have more players drafted than Oregon.
They also might have more draft eligible players than Oregon is what I'm saying. The talent is pretty close. And Oregon is a better recruiting program.
Well, we'll agree to disagree on that. I think Indiana
really
has
trying
the
to
better
compare
player.
Oregon historically to Indiana. Indiana got good 2 years ago when
I'm talking about this year. The talent on Indiana is better than the talent in Oregon. And if you guys are trying to debate me,
true. That's what Dylan's saying to you.
Right.
Yeah, he's saying he doesn't know it's true, and I disagree with him, which is perfectly fine. I'm moving on. I'm not. If you don't agree with me, there's nothing I can do to make you agree with me. I just feel like the talent on Indiana this year is better than the talent on Oregon. Whether you guys agree or disagree, it's neither here nor there. Now, moving on to my next point, it looks like everyone is confused, and they're bringing up these crazy scenarios on what we need to do next year. I think it's pretty simple. I think that we bring in Gardner Minshew because he's proven to be a quality backup, but he's also has been a pretty decent starter. There's no reason to take a whiff on a Kirk Cousins. Like, what the heck are we even talking about? Or even re-signing Tyrod Taylor. These are two injury-prone, well, not injury-prone with Kirk Cousins per se, but definitely Tyrod is injury prone and he sucks. Kirk Cousins, the last time we seen him play football, he sucked. So why would we want these guys when we know they might potentially be the starters? I also don't agree with you, Dylan, about we have to make whoever we draft sit. I think some of the best quarterbacks in the league right now didn't have to sit like CJ Stroud, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels. The list goes on and on. Quarterbacks now can out of college can come into the league and start day one. Gone are the days of you having to sit and wait a year. Usually what happens is when you make a rookie quarterback sit, he comes into the game when the starter is doing terribly wrong and the team is calling for the head coach to make a move at quarterback. Example of that would be with the Giants, and I don't want to see that. I don't want to see us draft Mendoza or Dante Moore and then start a Kirk Cousins and then midway through the season Kirk Cousins sinks and then we finally put the rookie in. No, that makes no sense. I think you have a quarterback competition and between Minshew and whoever we get, and if the rookie QB wins it, then put the rookie QB in. There's no need anymore in the league to have rookie QB sit. We haven't seen a successful rookie QB sit since Patrick Mahomes?
Well, I think there's a reason for
or
that.
Jordan Love as well.
Well, I think there's a reason for that too, is that pocket of quarterbacks that came out in those couple years, what is it, 2017 to 2020, that is a completely different college football than what we're seeing now in terms of quarterback and player development. Colleges don't really care about developing players right now. They just want to throw NIL money at players to come to their program and win football games. It's not really about development. So because of that, I do think there is a need for a lot of these quarterbacks to sit when they get into the NFL because they didn't get the proper training in college. Like Patrick Mahomes, he probably got a lot of good quarterback training at Texas Tech that, helped him in his progression in the NFL. These guys, again, they're just kind of getting NIL dollars thrown at them. And all of a sudden, okay, I'm going to go change schools and I don't really care about, progressing as a quarterback. It's really
but back in the day when quarterbacks were staying at schools for 4 years, they would come into the league and still suck. I mean, what are we talking about here? Quarterbacks now.
It's all a crapshoot, unfortunately, with the quarterbacks, and that's why I say it's less to do about the individual player than it is your OC, your pass game coordinator, your quarterbacks coach, your head coach, obviously, like things around that. Like your support system is way more important than who the player is, because again, Mendoza goes to the Rams, we feel good about it. Dante Moore to the Raiders, I don't feel great about that.
Yeah, but even if Mendoza went to the Rams, like let's look at Jared Goff. Jared Goff was with the Rams with Sean McVay, and Sean McVay felt like he couldn't win with them, and Jared Goff, look at what he's been able to do and have this resurgence. So even if Mendoza went to the Rams, that's not a guarantee that he's going to be a good football player. I mean, even if you look at like Trey Lance with San Francisco.
You feel better. I'm saying you feel better. There's no guarantee. That's the whole point.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan traded 3-1s to get Trey Lance. He sucked. He couldn't figure it out.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's like if the quarterback sucks, they suck. It doesn't really matter about the situation.
It's an educated crapshoot. But if the Jets love one of these guys, they should have conviction and get him.
I completely agree with you. I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing that whoever we draft, there's no need that we definitely have to make them sit for a year or a couple of games. I mean, and even when you look at what happened with the Giants and Jackson Dart, if he was the day one starter, I think he probably would be playing even better than what he's been playing now because he would have more reps. It's about reps. It's not about sitting and developing behind the guy. It's about reps. You need to get
guys
reps.
ready, but sometimes guys just aren't ready. Like they're not ready. Like if you throw a freshman in a senior level class, they might struggle. Like not everyone can handle it necessarily.
And there's a lot of rumors that Simpson and Moore specifically would need time to develop, and that's why they're suggesting that they go back to school. Whereas Mendoza looks like, I guess, quote, the most pro-ready, which I hate that term because you would never know if somebody's pro-ready until they get into your system. That's just how I feel. That is true.
That is true. And I think the thing that Mendoza has going for him is that, he played 2 years at Cal before transferring.
And he's a Heisman winner.
Yeah, well, I don't even want to get in the Heisman thing with you because you make no sense. Like on one hand, you'll say 50% of QBs drafted in the first round are bust. And then if I tell you that 69% of Heisman QBs who go into the league since 2000 have been bust, that's a higher rate for Heisman QBs to be a bust than it is for just any old QB1 going in the first round. You'll say,
we have a different standard for bust because you're telling me Jaden Daniels is a bust and he's not.
I never told you Jaden Daniels was a bust.
You did. You said
I said he was. I said it was too early to tell on Jaden Daniels. That's what I said. I said it's too early to tell on Jaden Daniels because he's been hurt this whole year. If you go since 2000, and I don't even care to do this anymore, but if you
go
to
2000 though, what if we just look at
because it adds
NFL
players
history?
Like Troy Smith into the equation.
Yeah,
because
Tebow, who we all knew was never going to work in the NFL.
JJ, if you go
okay, so then go. Why don't you go from 2010? Then go from 2010.
It's 8 out of 12. I have the numbers right here. It's
go through 2010.
It's 8 out of 12. Cam Newton, solid quarterback. RG3, we'll say that's a no. Manziel, that's a no. Jameis Winston, that's a no. Marcus Mariota, that's a no. But then the next 7 are yeses, in my opinion. Lamar, Baker, Kyler, Burrow, Bryce, Caleb, Jaden.
How could you say Baker Mayfield isn't a no when Baker Mayfield isn't even on the same team that he got drafted by?
That's not the qualifier.
Is the guy a good quarterback or not? Baker Mayfield was a good quarterback at Cleveland. The Browns were dumb for getting rid of him.
They didn't feel like he performed. They didn't perform that well. So would you think? Hold on, can I ask you a question? If Cleveland can go back in time and draft a different quarterback versus Baker Mayfield, would they still draft Baker Mayfield even though they moved on from him after 2 years?
I think they would have. Yes, obviously anybody who could go back and redo the draft would take Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. But the Browns could have also taken Baker Mayfield and then made a better pick at Denzel Ward is a great player, but they could have taken an offensive player at 4 that year.
Or how about this, JJ?
They could have taken offensive players to help him in the years.
They could have taken Heisman Trophy winner Lamar Jackson if they really wanted to.
Yeah, but you just went through the list and you named a whole bunch of sucky people. Then you got to Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson. I don't agree with.
He named a bunch of successful
the last 7 Heisman quarterbacks.
How am I moving the goal? How am I moving the goalpost?
Because you just said, "Oh, you can't say Baker. He's not on the team that drafted him anymore," which is ridiculous.
Yeah, he ended up being a bust for the team that drafted him.
No, he didn't end up being a bust necessarily. They moved on.
So
from
then
him.
why did they move? You make no sense. They moved on from him, but he wasn't a bust for the team. But they moved on from him. That makes no sense. Was Sam Darnold a bust for the Jets? Because the Jets moved on from Sam Darnold, so that means Sam Darnold wasn't a bust for the Jets. With your same logic, then
Did Sam Darnold win a playoff game with the Cleveland Browns or with the New York Jets, like Baker did for the Browns?
He's not on the team anymore. Okay, keep going down the list.
I just gave it to you. Since Lamar, there's 7 in a row. Lamar, Baker, Kyler, Joe Burrow.
Kyler Murray is not a bust. I can't talk to you guys.
He's not a great quarterback, but he's not a bust.
They don't even want him on the Cardinals anymore.
He's not a great quarterback, but he's not a bust, JJ.
Do you guys bust? So what is a bust? Because a bust means
Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is a bust.
A bust is not a starter.
JJ McCarthy looks like
Kyler Murray is not. Is Kyler Murray still a starter?
Josh Rosen is a bust.
So then, if that's the case, then you can't call Jameis
a bust.
Can I ask you a question? Is Jameis Winston a bust?
Yes.
Why? If Jameis Winston played 6 years for the Buccaneers and yada yada yada.
Long-term backup does not mean you were a good draft pick.
So then, why is Kyler Murray not a bust? What has he accomplished
He's had one bad year. He had 1 year where he didn't play a lot of games, and now he had 1 bad year this year.
Everybody in the chat today would refuse to take Kyler Murray, and you guys are trying to tell me that he's not a bust?
I don't care what the chat says. They probably told you the same thing about Daniel Jones last year, too.
Okay, Jake, would you like Kyler Murray?
To do what? To be my unquestioned starter next year? No. To be part of the room with a rookie?
And I didn't say that either.
So we can agree to disagree on Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield.
Definition, hold on, JJ. You move the goalpost again with your argument, which is nonsense. There is no correlation between winning the Heisman or not winning the Heisman and whether or not you're a successful NFL quarterback or not. Acknowledge that because you're wrong.
There is a correlation because the majority. Okay, I'll end on this. There's only been in the last 25 years 2 Heisman Trophy quarterback winners to go to the Super Bowl. In the history of the NFL, there's only been 2 Heisman quarterback winning quarterbacks to win the Super Bowl. So the majority of Heisman quarterback winning players have not even made it to the Super Bowl, let alone won a Super Bowl. That's all I'm saying with the argument.
How stupid your argument is when you consider that the vast majority of first-round picks never win a Super Bowl.
Do you know what round? Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you know what round has produced the most Super Bowl winning quarterbacks and just Super Bowl winners in general?
The 6th round.
No, it's the 3rd round. So you look at guys like Russell Wilson. You look at guys like even and Jackson Dart. He was a 3rd round pick. I'm not saying this.
Jackson Dart was a 1st round pick.
Sorry, not Jackson Dart. I was gonna say somebody else. You got me there. But there was somebody on my mind. They're slipping my mind. That was a 3rd round pick. Help me out real quick.
Dylan Gabriel.
Yes, there we go. Dylan. That's who it is. Dylan Gabriel. And you guys are going to laugh about this. Dylan Gabriel, historically.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
Beastworker, I don't have it in me to argue with you today. I don't care. You win.
You've been really stale.
You win, bro. You win. You're talking about stale, and you've been really pale. You know what rounds with stale? Pale. Why don't you go get some vitamin D? I don't have it in me to argue with you. You shut up. You shut up. I don't have it in me to argue with you today. All right? Why don't you go get some vitamin D? Go get a tan and shut up. You ever watch Jersey Shore? They said gym, tan, laundry.
I'm the master, and you're the hoe. I'm the pimp. You the hoe.
You need to go follow the Jersey Shore. Go to the gym, lose some weight. Go get some vitamin D. Get some.
Apollo Creed, and you're nobody. So just remember this: if you don't see me coming, I'm gonna tell you this right here. And just go, get your cameras ready, because somebody's gonna
Beast,
get the
Beast.
hand.
You know what's sad? You know what's sad, Beast? You know what's sad?
You're nobody, pal.
You know what's sad? You're a very entertaining person, but for the wrong reason. All you do is come on here and talk crap about people, and you don't even make sense. You don't even know what you're talking about. When was the last time you read a book?
With a small little weenie, and you got nothing to prove. You are
Yo, hey, yo. Why are you talking about
zero.
another man's weenie?
You're a zero. You're a.
Why are you talking about another man's weenie? That's weird.
You.
Beast by TKO in that Rumble. God.
Another man's weenie.
I can't with JJ, man. He just calls in for the sake of arguing. Like there's no correlation between if you won the Heisman or not if you're a good NFL pro. Like if the Jets don't take Mendoza, who they think is better than Moore, they can have either one because they're like, oh, well, he won the Heisman, so let's take the lesser quarterback prospect in our evaluation. Fire everyone involved before they could submit the pick. Like that's ridiculous. And you even went through recent Heisman winners that were good. It's not a quarterback. There's no basis for NFL success. It's a college football award.
It's like saying national championships lead to Super Bowls. Like nothing correlates from college to football or to NFL in that sense. The only thing it's
just hard to pick a quarterback in general in the first round. That's why most of them are busts.
Yes. The process is extremely hard regardless of who you are. And there is a huge element of luck involved in finding the right guy.
I agree with that. Ricky says, wanted to thank you again. See you at 8. That's right. I'm doing the Ricky NY show tonight. So we got to wrap this baby up shortly. We still got our raffle. I'm going to let Black Gypsy be today's closer, which means up next is a guy who's all about positivity and is one of the nicest people we have in this community. And I think we need him after the last couple of minutes.
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Hi guys.
Is it your birthday, Dave?
Oh, hell yeah.
No, I'm getting ready for Christmas, the time of giving.
David T's birthday is around the Tampa Bay game, just like yours, Jake.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yes.
Hey, did you ever find the tailgate, David?
Technically I never did find the tailgate. But now
maybe
next
the
year
will help you.
Yeah, next year I'm going to leave no stone unturned. So cuz I would love to get the Jets game next year.
A lot of people are saying that you're giving them a seizure right now with these lights, David.
Should I turn them off?
I actually like the idea of people getting a seizure because of your Christmas lights.
No, I don't want to hurt anybody.
Jake's an agent of chaos right now. JJ has him fired up.
How about if there you go. That's
perfect. Oh yeah, that's a good compromise.
Okay, so oh geez, now you guys got me way thrown off. Well, anyway, I'd like to keep it light. As far as I'm fascinated with all the scenarios about the quarterbacks and everything, but this is my wish list for Christmas, and it's far-fetched. It's a pipe dream and all that stuff. But Joe Burrow, I mean, you give up whatever you have to give up for him. And suppose Joe Burrow says, I'll come to the Jets if you bring in Mike McCarthy. And so their agents are talking. And if Woody hits himself in the head with a, Johnson & Johnson baby powder bottle, maybe he could come to his senses.
I love the thought.
I'm a big baby powder user.
Yeah, baby powder's cool.
Oh, yeah. That's the best thing about Johnson & Johnson, not their football team.
Yeah, I know Johnson. Oh my God, that we were born and raised with Johnson & Johnson, and what can you say? Shampoo, baby shampoo, and the powder and all that kind of stuff.
Well, David, you enjoy your evening, all right?
Thank you.
I got my eye on you. Checkmate me full screen, baby.
Are we ready for the Wheel of Champions? Are we ready?
No, we're ready for Black Gypsy.
I'm Black Gypsy, and I'm here to set all you delusional Jets fans straight. Your takes make me wanna punch you in the face, or kick you in the crotch. When this team sucks, they suck. I'm Black Gypsy. I'm Black Gypsy. I'm Black Gypsy. I'm Black Gypsy.
Today was hilarious, bro. It was hilarious. JJ blows my mind for just a simple fact that he doesn't care about anything he says. He just wants to win an argument.
But he just wants to argue for the sake of arguing. Like it's like
He literally said, "I agree to disagree." Everything.
I love it. I love it.
Oh man, JJ is awesome.
Truly one of a kind.
So David T wants Aaron Glenn fired for Christmas. Is basically what he was saying.
Yeah, that's what I heard. David T, the nicest guy in the world, calling for somebody to lose their job in the holiday season.
He said it in the nicest way. He said it in the nicest way. Yeah, Joe Burrow would be amazing to get. Like, I feel Gator because as an older fan, like I really, really believed Aaron Rodgers with the flag in his hand that game. And we were gonna be a Super Bowl team. I bought in all the way, like a sucker, like all the way. And then the Jets do Jet stuff, and just it all falls apart. So like, I get him being like, "Oh, Joe Burrow, no." It is Joe Burrow, no, but Joe Burrow,
what about
yes.
Garrett Nuttmeyer?
Yeah, Nuttmeyer. no, he changed it after to Nutsmeyer.
Garrett Nutsmeyer to the New York Jets.
Or Carly Murray, you know what I mean, for a quarterback.
Kylie Murray. Yeah.
First trans quarterback in NFL history.
Who says Woody is not a progressive owner?
I would love to see Burrow on his team, but I think it's very unlikely. I think it's also very unlikely for us to get Mendoza. Just the Raiders really, really suck, bro. And I just see Tom Brady would want that guy. Like, the knowledge level is high. Like, it's somebody that I just see fits into that organization more than any other thing. And for JJ, like, context is everything, which is something in the chat that blows my mind. Like, people just lose their minds over a take and just run with it off feelings. No context ever applied to the feeling. Like, all the quarterbacks that are first-round picks go to really, really bad teams with really, really bad setups and foundations. So, like, the chances of them being good is not high. The fact that some of them are good goes to the argument of the draft. Like, it's a luck. It's 50-50. It's which brings me to my thing. We're talking about draft. And we're
JJ
just
has responded. He says, to say I like to argue is absurd. Jake loves to argue with me because he disagrees with everything unless he says it first.
so he wants to say, so Jake, next time he says something first, just say I agree. From now on, just say I agree. Like when Mad Max calls in and you're like, can you hear me? You're like, no.
My new thing with Mad Max, if I remember to do it, is when he goes, can you hear me? I'm just gonna say like something like there's a stick up my ass and just see like he's just not gonna respond to it and just because you could say anything, it doesn't matter. He's just gonna go no matter what.
Doesn't even wait for the answer anyway. He just goes right in anyway. So
he doesn't care.
Robbie Sabo says, that's my dog, parentheses Gypsy. So Sabo's a big fan of yours.
Sabo, my favorite people that I have on the show are Sabo and Dylan. Because
I was gonna say, are you not gonna include me as I'm sitting here?
Blewett came back to say exactly what I thought Blewett would say this week. Like, I was kind of right. Everything that I said last week, when everybody was like, oh, you're nuts about Cook, you psychopath. He's now playing. So now we get to see what I asked for, basically, to see if we're going to get anything out of it. And people said, like, oh, you love Cook. It's not that I love Cook. In the preseason, I kind of saw something in his arm. So I was like, I want to see if he can actually, like, play NFL football. And, like, we're talking about Mendoza and all the rest of the rookies. Right now, all I care about is Cook because I don't think we're going to get Mendoza. I don't think we're going to get more.
Why not more?
I think we're going to end up at like 8, bro. I don't think we're going to be in that spot to pick a quarterback.
Who are we beating? Like, you think the Jets are winning another game?
I think the Saints is a winnable game. I think the Saints are that's the evenest game that we have.
Even and then that puts. I don't know. They'd be 8. I think
no, they are.
Like,
they're 8.
Yeah.
Jake.
If they win another game, they'd be 8.
Yeah, they're going to be 8th, bro.
What if the other teams in front of them win a game?
Still
8th.
Still 8th.
I don't know what. It
I
would be
go watch
jet-like
Draft
before-
Talk with DT after this. I did all the permutations last night. We either end up 3rd, 4th, or 8th.
Well,
That Falcon game.
They need to lose out, and they need Giants to lose out or lose only to Washington, and then you desperately need Tennessee to beat New Orleans.
Well, they would still trade
Yep.
up. It would be way more expensive to do it from 8 to 1 or 2.
It would be. I don't see the Raiders
But the
giving
Raiders
up that.
at 4 could jump to 2 easier. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
all in us.
Who's
Like,
at 1 in this scenario though? Because the Jets would just try and go right to 1 so they can
Browns or the Giants.
Yeah, it's
Browns,
going to
Giants,
be
or Raiders.
Raiders or Giants. Like Raiders or Giants are going to have that pick. Like if we're lucky, we get the Giants, so we can maybe finagle something. But I don't think the Raiders are going to give us Mendoza with the team that they have right now.
And
Him
we
and
need
Brock
to-
Bowers.
Yeah. And we need the Browns to win a divisional game, whether it's the Steelers or the Bengals, because that helps our strength of schedule in a tiebreaker scenario with the Titans and Raiders if we all end up with 3 wins.
So the quarterback I find most interesting because I've been watching clips. I don't watch a lot of college games, but the clips that they're showing of him, I like the USC quarterback. Like the USC quarterback just has something. Like you can see some of those players that have it. Like Mendoza has it, but it's in an analytical way, like a Peyton Manning. Like he understands plays to break down audibles and things. He understands defense basically.
He's a whiteboard quarterback.
Yeah. And Miami seems to just have that talent to know where to be and how to throw the ball. So like Moore, I'm out on Moore. Simpson, I haven't seen much of him to be like he's great. Like right now, like the best quarterback of all the rookies is Cook. He's played an NFL game. He's completed some passes, and we're so damaged and deluded as fans that we've skipped past Cook because he's a UDFA and gone right to the draft. When you think about it, just because of his name, like it has to make you think of Tom Brady. You have to think of like there could be that glimmer of hope.
Stop it! Because his first name is Brady. So
look, I can live with my delusion and say my delusion is like a delusion. Imagine he was good. It's all I'm saying.
I hope he is Tom Brady, Black Gypsy. I just think if you're expecting him to be great, you're going to be
Because of the
very
name?
disappointed.
Can I ask you one thing off topic?
Go ahead.
Where the hell do I get a Black Gypsy Garage hoodie?
I had a girl make them for me. She's making one for Jake, but she takes forever. Like they're nice and they're comfortable and they'll last forever, but she takes forever to make them.
Calm your freaky down.
You have women making things for you, Black Gypsy.
Yeah, man. Pay to play. Gotta pay to play.
Well, when she gets around to it, add another one on.
I got you. I got you from when you first asked me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Jake, I got you for my hoodie came in, Jake. The Asmaniac hoodie.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, we're rocking that for the holidays. But like everybody, get on board. It's the best part of the Christmas season for us. Brady Cook time. We have
I hope
nothing
he's great.
else.
You love him. I hope he's awesome. I do. I think we're probably going to be set up to probably watch another Bryce Petty or Luke Falk type of. I mean, maybe he's better than Luke Falk. He was awful.
He has good mechanics. He just needs gameplay and touch, which you get by playing the game.
Let's see. He's got all the
layered throws, bro. The layered throws. If he could just even that fake screen wheel up the sideline to Andrew Beck, I'm like, he barely put it over that defender's head. He barely got it there. I'm like, dude, can you just show a little bit of touch, please? Like just one time. I feel like he has the pieces, right? He's far away. Don't get me wrong, but he has the pieces. Like he can be solid as like a QB3, maybe a long-term backup.
He's a backup. What I see is a really good backup, and he needs to gain weight. He's too little. Like he needs to put on.
His legs are so skinny, bro.
Yeah, he's little, man. But like the first interception that's just going to be coaching because it was a stop and go route, right? So on a stop and go, you got to throw the ball in the back of the end zone.
Yeah,
like it has to be in the back of the end zone. Let him go get it. That's just coaching.
Yep.
And then that pass for the touchdown just a little bit higher, just a little bit higher, and he has it. So like that's why I'm like, and in preseason I saw him do that. Like he had a couple good passes. I was like, oh shit, he can pass the ball. Compared to watching Tyrod pass and Fields pass, like seeing him pass the ball, I was like, oh, this feels more natural as a passer in the pocket.
The rhythm was there.
Yeah, like if he gets the time and he has happy feet right now because it was his first game. Like you threw him into like the worst situation ever, and it ended up looking like shit. But I think there's something there where he might be a good enough guy that we don't have to worry about a backup next year.
Yeah.
Like if something happens, if he plays 4 games and we lose those 4 games, but he plays really good and the defense shits the bed, we have our backup is how I'm looking at it.
You
So
save
that's
a
what,
4th or 5th round pick.
yeah, that's one draft pick we're not going to be using and have to worry about. We know someone that knows the system that can come in and do a couple plays. Boom. And then we find our older guy. For Kyler Murray, I'm not the biggest Kyler Murray fan because he's not good. I think he has talent. It's his height. And if you watch him play, he does this tippy toe thing where when he's gonna pass the ball, he looks up to try and see, and then he moves. It's like his version of Happy Feet. He gets on his tippy toes to try and throw the ball over, and then he runs. So like I don't see him being functional in our offense. I think it's gonna be the same thing it's gonna look like Tyrod basically.
That's fair.
With our offense. So like as a bridge, I guess it's okay. Like there's no one really out there. Like the only person I see that I like Jameis. Because even if he's gonna throw picks, it opens up the offense because Jameis is gonna throw the ball. So a game plan can be built around a running back that can make the game more intense, more like competitive game. Because think of the last time we had a competitive game. Like not when a team was bad.
Week 1 against the Steelers was the only competitive game. Like I feel like through and through from wire to wire.
From game 2,
the thing is about Jameis though, like philosophically with this offense, do they want to put a Jameis Winston turnover prone guy in there? Like, because to me, how I look at the offense or how they are like kind of piecing together the offense, it almost feels like they're afraid of making a mistake, which is the wrong way to go about it. But like, do they go the complete extreme opposite of Jameis Winston and like just throw shit to the wind and say F it? And if you throw a pick, you throw a pick. I don't know. Like you got to try to find that balance of somebody in the middle who is conservative with the ball, but takes calculated risks.
So
which I think is funny because Rodgers kind of fits that bill.
He does. So here's my major problem with this offense and why I have a problem with Angstrom and Wilkes. He said he's not a defensive coach, but this team is built like a defensive team, a scared team when they want the defense to be the team that controls the fate of the game. And if the quarterback can do something, awesome. We're going to run the ball and we're going to pass when we need to. Defense. We're not that team. So now that we have to switch that is we need to open the playbook up. Like seeing people throw the ball downfield, I don't care if you throw an interception. Your defense plays different. They're going to have to adjust if they know you're going to throw the ball down the field. And then we don't do that. So defenses just stack up against us. They watch tape. They see we play scared, and it's easy to stop us. Like Engstrom's blocking schemes for the running game, you guys watched it, man. It's not good. What it's talent. Our team is. That's the thing that I agree with Jake. Our team is a very talented team in certain aspects. It's just, can you get the guy to get the best out of these players? And I don't know that Wilkes and Angstrom are those. I know that Wilkes isn't that guy. I don't know if AG and Angstrom yet. So the rookie kind of gives me a gauge of what they would do with the rookie. Like I get to see, even if it's bad, I get to see what game plan they come up with. So next year, when I see the same thing kind of when we're bad, I kind of know what to expect. I can see that Angstrom is trying to build something and Wilkes is behind it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But
there was elements of Angstrom doing good things for his rookie quarterback, but then there were a ton of times too where I was like, and I think Sabo pointed this out on Tuesday. Why are you running you're doing the run, pass for formula with Brady Cook? Like you need to get this guy in rhythm. And it felt like when he started getting in a rhythm, he was able to make some good throws. The dig route to AD Mitchell that he dropped, the slant route to AD Mitchell that he dropped, the whole shot to Mitchell on the right sideline was a good pass too. Obviously, he had his stinkers, like the first crosser on third down. He was like 18 seconds late, but it's like, and then he missed him on the wrong shoulder. But it's like there is certainly small traces of, okay, can we get this thing rolling over the next 4? And like you said, we're not asking him to be this. This is
I want Carly Murray at quarterback.
Oh, that's who that's supposed to be.
Can we talk about that? All right, I'm done talking about a UDFA until Sunday. Good, Black Gypsy?
I'm good. I'm good. That's all I got.
Wonderful.
Hell yeah.
All right. Now we've
Carly Murray.
We've said it all today, from trans quarterbacks to UDFAs to Kyler Murray along the way. But now it is time for an Asmaniac raffle, and we bring on our raffle MC. He goes by many names, but today, you know what we call him, Dylan? We call him Bruce Fluffer.
That's the next Michael Buffer. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for. It is time to spin the wheel of champions.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac Raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Here we go, folks. Joe Namath signed football. A little 2-for-1 special. Hold on. I got a bot. I got a ban for life in the chat. Done. Johnny Love, I got you in the raffle. Thank you for becoming a channel member, entering yourself. Hey, good luck to everyone. This combines the entries across both our shows today. So thank you for your support on both the programs. We're going to spin the wheel. If you win, you got to email me, asmanjake@gmail.com, your name and address so I know where to order that raffle. Or I know where to order, I should say, the Joe Namath football too. All right, Dylan, call your shot. Who do you think is going to win this football?
I can't see the names on the wheel, and I don't remember everybody that tuned in. So, did I see Big Fellow on the list?
Let's go.
Let's go Big Fellow or Eli Betts.
Big Fellow or Eli Betts. I'm going welcome to something. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
Well, now we know who's winning because Jake always rigs these raffles.
I also forgot to put him in yesterday, so he got 2 extra ones. The winner is Matt L. Matt L. He is cleaning up. I think he won a Klecko football a couple weeks ago. He's won a jersey. And now he's got a Broadway Joe Namath football. Congratulations, Matt. You're the man. Well-deserved. Hit the Jet chant for him, people. Matt L. is your winner.
More like Matt
JJ
W.
is your Heisman Trophy winner. Carly Murray is your future Jet QB. And Bruce Fluffer is here for it all.
Oh, no, that's the next Michael Buffer.
Dylan, plug your channel before we get out of here.
Yes, sir. Dylan Tereman on YouTube. Plethora of content for you to consume, both Jets and draft related. Let's run down. We obviously have the game recaps and previews, which you can get in audio-only format on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, whatever the Google equivalent is to Apple Podcasts. You can also get Believe in Jets, BLEAV in Jets. You don't necessarily have to believe in the team, but if you believe in your boy DT, certainly check that out. Audio-only versions of my videos. And then I have Draft Talk with DT. The 3rd episode dropped yesterday where I went through basically the Jets tanking guide to get to a top 3 draft pick. Obviously, there's scenarios where we don't pick that high, but I went through a bunch of different scenarios and possible orders using playoffpredictors.com to project out the last 4 games of the season. So that's on the channel as well as mock reactions. I did Dane Brugler last week, Field Yates this week, and then I have a Makai Lemon and Jacoby Lane little 2-for-1 special all 22 review, the wide receivers from University of Southern California. So pumping out wide receiver film breakdowns for the draft, hoping to have a top 5 out by Christmas time. So then I'll have the quarterback top 5 and the wide receiver top 5 on the channel at Dylan Tereman. We're on the road to 2K, as you see on the screen.
Dylan, thank you for coming on. Long show, but it was fun every step of the way. I will talk to you soon. And as always, go Jets. He's DT. I'm Jake saying thanks for watching, folks. Be on the lookout for more content coming on the channel. Until then, I'll leave you with a couple short clips that need to be played. 1.
Like I fucked me twice.
2.
Like I fucked me twice.
Sorry, I meant not to play that. Just kidding. One more
like
time.
Like I fucked me twice.
And all right. And finally, go Jets.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go Jets.